know how this thing gets dusty. Hey, what's up? Hey, family. How are we doing? I'm so glad y'all in the room. What's up? Abigail said, hey, superstars. Yes, we superstars up in here. How are we doing? So, the reason why I was supposed to have the Bachelor review this time at 12, and then at 2 p.m., I was going to do the batch chat. I decided to combine them for two reasons. One, the women tell all, I just did not have a lot to say. So it would have been not a waste of review, but it just didn't make any sense for me to do a whole like live just on like the four things that I wanted to say about the women tell all. And then we normally go over two, and I have the batch chat at 2 p.m. So I was just like, let me just make it all in one. And I think moving forward, I'll just be doing batch chats. Not that I won't be doing reviews, right? The thing about it is the Bachelor Nation got a lot going on, girl. Every week it is something. They don't give me no rest. So like to do like a separate batch chat and a Bachelor review, we just not going to do it. Because I feel like next week, we got a good little Bachelor episode, but I feel like Bachelor Nation gonna start some mess. Somebody in Bachelor Nation is gonna start some more mess, and I'm gonna have to do like non-batch chats. The devil is a liar. Listen, we're in the pandemic, but I have a life, even in quarantine. So I think I might just, depending on what happens in Bachelor Nation, I might just start combining them. Because, girl, out of all the shows that I review, this is the only like fan base that has been doing the most. I'm so shocked. I am so shocked, Bachelor Nation. Aren't you all supposed to be the sweet evangelicals? Well. The chickens are coming home to roost. How are we doing? Shout out to my moderator, Shonda, Black Lavender. Who else is in the building? What's up, Nicole Hazard? Yeah, Nicole said, Ashley Nicole Hazard said, more going on outside the show than on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Caitlin. Somebody said it. So y'all hear the tambourine. We're about to do it. Somebody said, oh my God, please, no more tambourine. And to that I say, I'm going to give you tambourine and I'm going to give you hell on this tambourine. How dare you? How dare you come to this godly place and tell me no tambourine? The devil is a what? Say it with me. Liar. Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3. Hey, come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Hey, what's up, TJ? What is that symbol? What is that? That symbol, TJ? They look like two nipples. What is that? What is that? It looks like the breast of Gomorrah and a Caucasian breast touching. What is this symbol? Thank you, TJ. Whatever that means. Thank you. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Hey, Afua. How are you doing, sweetie? Thank you for being here. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about because Taylor does not know how to apologize. Girl, what was that apology? Oh, and it was like, was that apology like 30 minutes? 29 minutes too long. 29 minutes too long. Taylor. Oh, girl, why did you post that? What, you need some BIPOC friends in your life, because baby, that apology was a mess. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about because Bachelor Nation left Rachel out there to die. That's what they did. They left our girl out there to die. Now everybody want to come to her defense. Where were y'all for like 2.5 years? Where were you guys? But now we're going to come to protect our friend Rachel. A little too late. Come on in the room. Oh, come on in the room. Yeah, come on in the room. Hey, Priscilla, come on in the room. What up, Advice Queen? Come on in the room. What's up, Cassandra? Come on in the room. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about, so won't you come on in the room? Come on and Shabbat God in this place. He's worthy. Hallelujah. To all the non-Black Christian people who are here, I'm sorry. It's in me. This is my culture. Child, y'all lighten Taylor up. Just like because she deleted her apology, so somebody posted it on Instagram. And you know what? Let me stop to somebody. I hate when people do that, especially when like somebody is sharing my content and they're like, somebody said, I'm like, heifer, that was me that said it. So where is Taylor's apology? Let me go to my history. Let me go to my history so I can give that person credit. There we go. Who posted this? So Bachelor Brew on YouTube, that's Bachelor Brew, okay, posted Taylor's deleted apology. There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with giving some recognition, as we should. As we should. But yeah, they posted her apology. And so it should be up there. If you want to go watch it while we're talking about this, because I'm going to talk about that apology as well, because it was just, yikes. Yikes. Homegirl, I know how to apologize. Alana Whipple, hey sis, said, I know my coworker is looking at me crazy because I'm smiling hard at this live. Oh, and I'm smiling hard at you. Thank you for being here. Oh, Ashley, we will talk about Ashley, but Ashley said, like, emotionally, I feel like there's things inside she needs to address. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mama got a lot going on. And I hope, because she's a mental health counselor, I hope that she is also being seen by somebody as well, because a lot of people who deal with those kind of things and deal with people who have mental issues, that's a lot to take on. That is a lot to take on. I don't know if it's something required in the medical field. I know within the church community, those people who are the leaders of the churches, at least that I've been to, who counsel people, also get counseling by other people within the ministry, because that's a lot to deal with. That is a lot to deal with. And if she's a mental health counselor, she's not to get all Christian on you, but she's dealing with some demons. She is dealing with a legion of demons on a daily basis for her job. So sweetie, I hope you're getting help you need as well, trying to help other people. Because watching her apology, I was just like, ooh, something's going on here. Something's going on here. And I feel like she was triggered somehow by what was happening with Rachel Lindsay, and just, I won't say jumped into the deep end, but I think that she jumped without knowing how deep the waters actually is, if that makes any sense. Oh, where's my thing? Here she is. We got a super chat from Kaya. Hey, sister. Kaya Peter said, hi, Nikki. Did you get your grits? Can't wait for the review. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Thank you so much, Kaya. Kaya is actually referring to, if you are into faves videos or haul videos, I actually did a video. It should be the first video up on my YouTube about my favorite Black-owned brands or items created by Black creatives. And one of them are these grits called Southern Queen grits. And I actually ordered them because at least the people I follow on Instagram were obsessed with these grits. So I've been trying to get them for a very long time, like over a month, and they were always out of stock. So I finally got them when they were in stock. They were delivered to me within a week. I had some and they were absolutely delicious. My family and I went through one bag, in 2 days we were the thing was gone. And then when I went back to purchase some more, because they were so good, I was like, I have to get more to keep them within the house. They're out of stock. So Kaya let me know that they're back in stock. Thank you so much. I absolutely did get them. And I cannot wait. I think this is going to be my last order of grits, just because, I don't think we'll ever get out of this pandemic anytime soon, but just in case, I want to be ready. Anyway, let me check and make sure my notes are all here, because I got a lot of notes, guys. Ciao. Bachelor Nation will not let me rest. Will not let me rest. I think I have everything. Yeah, I think I have everything. All right. I'm going to chat with you guys for, what time is it? Oh, right now I'm going to start the review. Oh, Tracy. Hey, Tracy. Shout out to my moderators, Shonda, Black Lavender, and Tracy. Tracy just placed her order for her grits. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. They're so good. I had a bowl this morning. But I got to ease up off them grits. My second order, that's it. No more. I Am Awesome Productions. The sweet grits are the Yellowstone ground grits are the sweet grits, and the white stone ground grits, those are just the plain ones, but the yellow ones are sweet. Not that sweet, like slightly sweet. Like they don't taste like cream of wheat, when you put all the fixins in it, but they're still pretty sweet, but not too sweet. Some people, no, I didn't see your super chat. I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Some people said, did you see my super chat? I only saw the super chat from Kaya. When did you send this up? And it didn't show up top. YouTube is tripping. Sup? Oh, I did. Here it is. Sup, people. Thank you for the super chat. Sup, people said, I'm Catholic. I thought you invented. Oh, I'm sorry. This is by the Georgia. Come On in the Room is by the Georgia Mass Choir. It's like a praise and worship, not praise and worship, but a gospel song that I grew up on. I'm so sorry. Sup, people. I'm talented, not talented in that way, but thank you so much for thinking I created that song. I did not create Come On in the Room. Thank you so much, sup, people. Oh gosh. Cameron, you never tasted grits before? Grits, baby, you got to get in on it. You got to get in on it. If we're ever able to do a meetup, I'm serving grits. I'm serving grits, Cameron. No, I did not make up this song, guys. Research, just look in Google or whatever your search engine is and type in Come On in the Room gospel song, and it'll come right on up. Kimberly, you would love them. You would love them. Amira, okay. Amira, I'm gonna answer that question right now, but let me just do the intro for the review. Oh, real quick, if you're new here, what I'm going to do first is I have several subjects that I want to talk about. The first is the woman tell all. The second subject is about Emmanuel acho, who is the new After the Final Rose host, temporary host, Rachel Lindsay, the backlash she received, and Taylor Nolan's racist tweets, right? Past racist tweets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the subject for a few minutes. Then I'm going to talk with you guys about it because I don't want to break up my thoughts. So I'm just going to go through my thoughts. Then we'll discuss for a few minutes. Then I'll get into the next subject, go through my thoughts. We'll discuss for a few minutes, go into the next subject, give you my thoughts, the whole shebang until we're done. And then after that, it's just a free-for-all chat, which Lord knows where we go with these chats. I don't know how it's going to end, but just know if you say, you'll be in for a ride. So that is how we're going to start this off. So if you're new here, that is the formula for NikkiStar TV's batch chats. So if you're just here for the Women Tell All, it starts right now. So, these comments are going. These comments are going. I don't know who said it, but one of you just asked me about what I thought about the ladies' outfits. Believe it or not, I like Victoria's outfit the most. I really did. And here's why I liked it, because I wanted that outfit. So she got that outfit from ASOS. It's ASOS like sequins pantsuit. And I wanted it, but I didn't want it in blue. I feel like for me as a chocolate girl, I feel like electric blue works best on my skin tone. I can't really do the pale blue. It don't really work for me. So unfortunately for me, the color that I wanted it in was pink, but pink was out of stock in my size and it was out of stock in blue. And I was actually going to buy it. But when I checked back, it was out of stock. And I was like, that was the Lord. It was probably Victoria. Okay. So I actually didn't end up getting it. But when I saw her with that, I said, oh, I had the same taste as Victoria. But she looked cute. I thought thought she looked cute. I thought it was very different from what we are used to seeing on The Bachelor, on these like women tell all shows. Like we're normally getting of a mixture of dresses from Giovanni or Charlotte Russe when we do these women tell all. So you're never really getting, you know, I got to be honest, fashionable choices, right? They're always very dated, fashionable choices. So when I saw Victoria's look, I was just like, I really like this. I think this is the first time I saw a woman at the Woman Tell All in a pantsuit or in the pants. They're always in dresses. She's in this cute, you know, sequins, two-piece, not pantsuit, but like, you know what I mean? Like pants outfit. I thought it was cute and then left a little open with the bra. I liked it. I thought she was the best dress for me. The worst dress, unfortunately, this is my girl, Chelsea. What was going on, Chelsea? The python dress with, you know, the knee-high Rockport boots. What? I didn't like it. That was not for me. It was not for me. And it's not something I expect for Chelsea, who was like a fashion, you know, a runway model. I just knew that she was going to serve on this episode. And I knew that Serena P. I'm gonna be real with you. Please don't think that I'm being ignorant, but I have to distinguish the two. Distinguish the two. Asian Serena, I thought that she was going to serve because, you know, she's a fashion girl and I've always liked her outfits, but I didn't. The best dress for me out of everybody that I saw was Victoria. I know, I'm hurt by it too. Before I go on, I got a super chat from Yolande. Yolande said, did you see how the producers did Heather dirty yet again and blocked her out of the Woman Tell All? She was sitting right next to Kit. Thank you so much for that, Yolande, because I totally was just, can I tell you, I did not know that she was there. I didn't know she was there. And I was wondering why. I was just like, what happened with Heather? Wow. Thank you for the super chat and that tea, Yolande. Thank you so much. I was thinking, I was like, where the hell is Heather? But she was sitting right next to Kit and I never noticed. Wow. Anyway, so let's get into the show. As soon as the show opens, you see this disclaimer right over Chris Harrison, and it says that this show was filmed on February 4th, basically before Chris Harrison lost his damn mind. So the producers and this show is like taking their hands off of it and saying, listen, we know about everything that has happened, but we don't, you know, take responsibility for what Chris Harrison said. So the only reason why he is still here on this stage is because this was already filmed by the time he woke up that day and chose violence. So one thing I want to talk about was MJ. MJ on the Women Tell All was still acting like we didn't see footage of her being awful. She was saying, oh, you know, just my humor was misconstrued. And sometimes I do things when I'm nervous and not everybody can take my humor. You were not being humorous when they caught you on camera. You did not know those hidden cameras were there watching you and recording your audio. MJ, we saw you being awful. All you have to do is own it and be like, that was not my best moment. That was not my best moment. But to not acknowledge the fact that you were a part of the Mean Girl clique and attacking especially the new girls. Y'all mean to tell me these women came in the show and just started crying over nothing? We all saw what happened, which is very weird to me because if the show was filmed February 4th, this whole cast, the ladies of the Women Tell All, have already watched or should have watched what we saw of them. We saw you all being awful. How are you all like here now and not acknowledging what we saw? I was very shocked by it because I can understand if the Women Tell All was filmed before February 4th. It was filmed on February 4th. So you guys saw everything that we saw. How are you acting like this? I'm confused. I am very confused. Speaking of awful, let's get into Victoria. She's learned nothing. And taking accountability. She's not taking accountability for anything. And the way she was speaking to the ladies. One girl, I don't know who she is. She looks like Trinidadian Serena. I forgot her name, but she looks like her. And she was talking to Victoria, and Victoria was just like, well, I see, you know, that you still have issues with what happened so long ago. I can see you're having a little bit of an attitude. Oh, Victoria, you're that girl. You are that girl. This right here, talking to her about her attitude, that let me know exactly who you are. And I thought what I thought of you from that show was horrible. But girl, when we add this to it, compared to how you acted on the show, not one redeemable quality. Besides your little pantsuit. That was cute. That was cute. That's it. That's the only redeemable quality this girl has, because she was gaslighting the ladies about what she actually did to them. And I'm like, girl, let's be very clear. What we saw was terrible, but that was cherry picked from the show. We don't know what you were doing to those ladies when the cameras were not there. We don't know what you were doing to these ladies when the times they were there, when they were filming, what they decided not to show. So we have no idea what you put these ladies through. But all I have to say is we saw you rip that crown off of that girl's head. And I said, when I watched that episode where she ripped her crown off and said, I'm the queen, and ripped her crown off her head, I'm telling you, I know that lady was Miss Puerto Rico Universe or whatever her title was. I think it was Miss Puerto Rico Universe. Universal? Miss Puerto Rico Universal. She had every right to punch her in her throat. Every right. You were being awful to these ladies. Guys, they were in confessionals crying, could not get themselves together because how poorly the OGs were treating the new girls. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. Oh no, there wasn't any drama in the house. There wasn't any bullying in the house. What show were you on? Because we saw what we saw. Anyway, I got a super chat from, who is this? Caitlin. I know it was my girl, Caitlin. Caitlin said, sorry to jump ahead a bit, but Chris Harrison said, hopefully, listen, Caitlin, I have a note about that. I'm definitely going to talk about that. Thank you, Caitlin. Hopefully we'll all be together in person. I was like, oh, wow, how the tables have turned. Thank you so much for the super chat, Caitlin. I'm going to get into that. Chelsea disappointed me. I think Chelsea had really great moments on this season. Maybe she didn't talk about them, or maybe the show didn't think it was important to talk about, but she just showed me a side that I did not know was a part of her. I was very disappointed. Why are y'all coming at Katie? It's a damn TV show. Katie was trying to become the Bachelorette. Y'all should have been following her. For Chelsea to be like, oh no, you caused all this drama. Chelsea and stylish Serena, they were both saying, oh, you've caused all of the drama in the house. And I'm just like, again, guys, we saw these ladies crying. We saw how you treated them. We saw how you said that they couldn't hang out with you, and how when they were walking by you guys at the resort that you all were staying at, y'all wouldn't even acknowledge them. This is not something that Katie made up. Y'all mad that she brought it to Matt, and Matt started chopping y'all girls. As soon as Matt found out, he had that whole little meeting. He was just like, oh, I will not tolerate this. Let's get to the rose ceremony and sent like 15 of y'all home in 2 days. That's what y'all mad about. But we're not going to act like Katie did not tell Matt exactly what was happening in the house. Where was Sarah? Was Sarah there? Why wasn't she there? Y'all tell me at the end of this. So anyway, Brittany, I think you were being really nice, and I think you were just trying to do the right thing, but you don't ever have to accept Anna's apology. What she did was awful. She tried to destroy you, sis. And she said, oh, I was just jealous. I told y'all that Anna was mad at Brittany because she feels like she cannot compete with a Brittany. So she throws out that this girl is an escort. Why would you start so high? I would say something like, oh, well, she still has a boyfriend back home. At least that's what I heard. You didn't call this woman a whole prostitute on national TV. Why did you just go for the jugular right away? Didn't work out for you, Anna. Didn't work out for you. You're lucky that Brittany accepted your apology, because she did not have to. If Abigail is not the Bachelorette, it is a missed opportunity. It is a missed opportunity. I don't know about y'all, but when she was watching that playback of her getting sent home by Matt, and she was just like, it's hard to watch. I was like, oh, Abigail, this should be your position. I would listen. I told you I'm out after Matt. Like, I'm not watching any more of The Bachelor and all that. I just don't feel like it. This season of The Bachelor has worn me out. Okay. However, if Abigail's the Bachelorette, I'm in because I know that I'm going to be crying every episode. Happy tears. happy tears. And we deserve happy tears after what this show has put us through. If she is not the Bachelorette, it is a missed opportunity. No shade. Nobody cares about Katie's storyline right now. We got a lot going on in Bachelor Nation. We need some serious diversity. And with Abigail, we get a 2 for 2. We get a 2 for 2. We get get a woman who is Asian. I think her mom is Asian. We get a woman who is Asian, and we get a woman who has a disability. Is being deaf a disability? Yeah, a disability. So we are covering the disabled community, and we are covering the Asian community. Diversity on diversity. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. You know what? After what Bravo did to me, I'm gonna stop giving y'all ideas. Let me shut on up and just work that stuff out with my agent. Because Bravo, I'm not forgetting that. I'm still waiting for my money. Bravo. Anyway, so then we get to Piper, who I still think has a chance with Matt. I think whoever Matt picked, we all know it's Sundown Town Rachel, but I think that Piper later on down the line has a shot with Matt. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in her DMs right now. I wouldn't be surprised. I think she still has a shot with Matt soon and very soon, because I feel like he was very attracted to her. For some reason, he didn't pick her. I guess because she didn't go with the with what the show wanted. Because you also have to realize the Bachelor and the Bachelorette have an influence over who stays and who they pick at the end, right? They don't have all the influence. At the end of the day, this is a TV show. So the producers really have a huge influence on who stays and who goes. And for some reason, they weren't here for Piper. But Matt wasn't trying to get a wife anyway, so the producers knew what they were doing. Okay. So since we're here talking about Matt, I'm here for the beard. I'm liking it. I'm liking the beard. When he walked out on stage, I was just like, okay, this is nice. This is nice. And I guess it's because, I'm from Philly. A nice little wild Beanie Siegel beard just does something to me. And it's just, I don't know. But I was here for the beard. I was here for the beard. Keep it up, Matt. Look at you trying to come home. And it was nice and moisturized. I said, oh. Okay, King. And I will say this, right? When Chris Harrison was interviewing Matt, my mom walked in and she was like, oh, when I was watching the show, she walked into my room and she was like, oh, he's handsome. Who was that? And she started walking to the TV. And I'm like, well, what are you going to do? When you get to my television, what are you going to do to Matt? The beard is working for you, bro. The beard is working for you. Then we get this montage at the end of Matt kissing with his eyes open. We all know that is creepy. I will say, I told y'all, I didn't mind it. I wasn't bothered by him kissing with his eyes open. But then when we saw it in a montage, it was a little uncomfortable. But I still, you know what? I'll be too busy gripping on the beard to even care about the fact that he's looking at me. Yeah, just give me that beard. I'm like it. Girl, if I don't calm my grown behind down, what the hell? So Caitlin, let's talk about it. So at the end of this episode, when Chris Harrison says, I love the energy. Ooh, child. I love the energy in this room. Oh, Bachelor Nation, I'm so glad that we're sort of back together. Hopefully one day we'll be together soon. I was like, are you talking about in heaven? Are you talking about after the rapture? Like, what are you talking about? Because I got a feeling that we're not going to be seeing you soon. Now, you may be on CMT. They may do some type of bachelor show over there on the CMT network or somewhere on Fox, because those are the only two communities that are going to embrace you so quickly after this mess up. But I just don't feel like we're going to see you anytime soon on Bachelor Nation. You have to do a sit down with Oprah. You have to do a sit down with Jane Elliott. You have to do a sit down with who else? Who can he do a sit down with? And we'll listen. I don't know. You got to get some, you got to do something redeemable. You have to do something redeemable. What is happening right now? You know what? To be quite honest with you, you got the coin. You need to send You need to pull a Michael Scott for real. Like for real. Not like, abandon them kids when they get a little older. You remember that Office episode about Michael Scott's kids or something? I forget the actual name of it, but you need to do that. Like you need to send like underprivileged kids. There are a lot of underprivileged kids in like poor communities. You got to start black. You got to start with the blacks. I'm being real. I'm helping you out, bro. Send them to college, like pay off a college or something like that. Like we have to see you like handing out groceries to black moms in front of a Ralph's or something or a Kroger. You got to do some work because this has gotten bigger than you expected, bigger than I expected. I knew this would happen, right? But I thought, it was handled real quickly and you started disappearing. Then everybody in Bachelor Nation started talking and releasing statements. We won't be seeing you soon and very soon, Chris. Maybe after the rapture. I don't know. But I don't think we're going to be seeing you on this show anytime soon. But you know what? You've been doing this show for 20 years. I hope you saved your money because I feel like you got a nice coin from the show. You should be fine. You should be fine. In a few years, you'll pop up on the Game Show Network. You will be fine. You'll be fine. Donate to Black Lives Matter. Do like a huge donation and like accidentally post that you did it on your Twitter and be like, oh my God, I'm an old man. I had no idea that I sent that. We all know what it is, but we'll be like, oh my goodness, he gave $2 million to Black Lives Matter. I'm trying to help you, bro. Anyway, if you were just here for After the Final Rose, beloved, it ends right now. Let's chat about not after the final rose, but the Women Tell All, and then we'll get into After the Final Rose and the rest of the Bachelor Nation team. L Boogie said, Matt with a beard is like the guy who graduated from the... L Boogie, why are you saying a quiet part loud? Is like the guy who graduated from a white high school and is now in his second semester at Howard, majoring in African American studies. It's true. It is true, Matt. I'm sorry, because Matt before I wasn't seeing it for him. But this beard, this wow, African beard is doing something to me. I was like, oh, we looking. Good on you. Good on you. Paris said, what do you think about Matt's father showing up on Bachelor on the next episode of Bachelor? I told y'all the way he called upon his father so many times, talking about how his father wasn't in his life. I knew that they were going to put that absent black father. Guys, maybe we should not have done this in this climate. I knew they were going to put him on the show. I knew. I will say this. How old are Matt's parents? Because Matt's dad, I was like, oh, okay. Well, sir, were you born in the 40s? He looks a lot older than I would expect. Like a lot older than a parent I would expect that would have a 26-year-old. Maybe it's because my parents are mad young. Maybe that's what it is. My perception is off. Maybe that's normal to be that age and have a 26-year-old. But I was just like, that's your father? Not your father's father? And it also seemed like the dad had a little substance abuse issue. Oh my God, Matt, why are you giving this show all of your business? Why are you doing that to us? We don't deserve it. We do not deserve all of this tea about you. Whew, y'all got to get some black people in production over at that show. Y'all really have to do that. Oh, thank you, Miss Brown Sugar. Oh, my mom is into Matt. She is into that man. Oh, Ayanla, Amira, that's really good. Chris Harrison sits down with Ayanla. That would be good. Brian, hey Brian. Brian said, do you think they would cast other deaf contestants if Abigail's the Bachelorette to make her more comfortable? Brian, where have you been, baby? I already talked about this, and I damn near cried when I talked about it. I said I'm not sure if it'll happen, but if Abigail is picked, they are definitely going to have disabled contestants on there. We're definitely going to have deaf contestants, but I think we're going to cover the whole, or at least hopefully the show will cover the whole, as much as they can, the whole disabled community. But I also said that at the end, chills, I'm getting goosebumps. If Abigail picks somebody who is deaf, but not quite like how she is, because Abigail I think she can hear faintly, but she reads your lips and she's able to still communicate verbally, right? If she were to pick someone who's not able to communicate verbally or is, but has like some issues and decides to sign a proposal to her, on the floor, crying, in fetal position. You want to talk about ratings? Do you want to talk about ratings? Chills. Chills, just thinking about it. Just thinking about it. We would be a wreck watching that ending. My God, today. My God, today. Oh, I'm giving you that one for free, Bachelor. I'm giving you that one for free. It has to be Abigail. If you want a chance to redeem yourself and get new viewers in, as well as the old viewers, because the racist ones, I think they're checked out. I think the racist ones are checked out. They have went full clan. Who Bachelor Nation? Cornel West, Desiree would be too rough. He would be too rough, and Chris, I feel like he would, come back and he would just ruin it. Not a Cornel West, a Gail King maybe. A Gail King maybe. That would probably work. We got a super chat from Latrice. Hey sis. Latrice said, I'm very triggered that the producers decided to exploit, come on, Matt's relationship with his estranged father. He was the first, come on, Latrice. He was the first Black Bachelor and they sabotaged his season. If you don't tell the truth, then what? Shame the devil. Thank you, Latrice. Thank you, Latrice. What a mess up this season has been. I was going to say something else, but don't need YouTube clocking this channel. What a mess up. What a complete mess up. It seems like every time they have a bachelor or a bachelorette that is not white, there's always some kind of racist stuff going on with the show. And that means that for me as a viewer, that tells me that there's some sickness overall within this show. And y'all got to cut the sickness out, because the fact that you keep on overlooking or just not catching the racist past and future in your contestants that are competing for the affection of the non-white bachelor and bachelorette, there's a problem there. And for me, I'm kind of seeing that the problem is you've probably seen their background checks and the things that they have done, and whoever you have over that was not bothered by what they saw because either they agree or they think this is normal. That's a huge problem for me, because how in the hell are people on Reddit finding stuff on Lee from Rachel's season and finding stuff on Rachel from Sundown Town Rachel from Matt's season? How are these viewers able to find this so quickly, and you over at your $1 billion show can't even find this in your $1 billion background checks? You probably saw it and didn't think it was a big issue, just like how Chris Harrison didn't think it was a big issue. And there are people who are a part of this whole production of this show who think like that and call the shots. That's a huge problem. A huge problem. Caitlin said, Caitlin's talking about Emmanuel. She said, depending on his performance on After the Final Rose, should he permanently replace Chris Harrison? I think that if he does good, I think that would be a great idea. Realistically, I don't think that's going to happen, because we just have to be honest. The majority of the people who watch this show are white. Let's just talk real. The Bachelor and The Bachelorette are shows made for white people. They are. The audience intended is white people, specifically white Christians, specifically white evangelical Christians. This is what this show is made. This is who the audience that this show is made for. So that is why they catered to them so much, because this was the audience that really put this show on the map. That's money, right? So I don't think that this show will completely abandon that audience, but it has been pointed out that there's issues with the show. I was going to Child, I don't know why I've been having to curb my tongue a lot talking about this show, but I'm getting a little heated. Anyway, so racist issues with this show. So that has to be fixed. It has to be rectified. And unfortunately for this show, I think that they think the issue that they had, the way to fix the issue is to throw a black out there, throw somebody who was affected by the racism on our show, throw them out there and put them in a few of these places, and that will suddenly fix everything. No, we have to fix your mind. We have to fix how you view people who do not have your same color, your same skin color. We have to fix those things, because you are the one calling the shots. You are the one making decisions, and you are the one who was looking at what Sundown Town Rachel did, and you're not bothered by it. That's the sickness that needs to be cured. Curing it is not throwing a black person in that environment, because you're throwing this black person in this already sick environment. And what are you going to do if you're not healed? You're going to continue to, offend this person, affect this person in some way. You're going to continue to try to, cover them in your sickness because you're not healed. That needs to be fixed first. I don't think that throwing black people in the mix is going to fix Bachelor Nation, because here we have, they, are throwing black people in the mix, and all, the black people that are a part of Bachelor Nation are experiencing these things from, I guess, a production that is pretty sick. And now they're speaking out about it because they've been affected by it. They've been harmed by it. They've had to disable their Instagram because of it. So that is not a fixable issue. It is a fixable issue, but it's not being addressed. So this is the issue that's going on with Bachelor Nation right now. They don't really want to fix it, or I guess know how to fix it. And because this is the way they are trying to fix it, we're here now. We're here now because nothing was done with the issues that they had before. They just put black people in, positions with no power and no say so. And here we are. So they have to fix production first before you can fix everything else that is played out, because we are getting what the people over production or a part of production think that we want to see. And we're saying, oh no, something is wrong with this, but they can't see it because what we think is wrong, they think is right. That's the issue. That is the issue. Carrot Mom said he needs to go on Red Table Talk. That would be interesting. That would be Scott's Tots. Thank you, Abigail. Scott's Tots. Chris's Tots. That's what he needs to do. That is exactly what he needs to do. Oh my God. But diversity won't fix it. Diversity won't fix it. Yeah, they just won't fix it. They need to be educated. Absolutely. Shadia said, no point of a diverse as hell cast if the production gives the 6 white women all screen time. Rotten production, rotten to the core. There you go. There you go. Hey, Irene. So glad you're here. Irene gave the girl a super chat. She said, we really need diversity. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Irene. But if we have diversity and we still have the same people who are perpetuating the racism or just the ignorance still in positions of power, there won't be any change. We'll just keep on dealing with the controversy, right? So that needs to be fixed as well. Since we're already talking about Emmanuel, let's move into Emmanuel Acho. So Emmanuel, before Chris Harrison was when Chris Harrison was taking out of the role of hosting After the Final Rose because he stepped aside, there were talks that it was going to be two people. Emmanuel, from my understanding, was not yet in the discussion yet. It was between Ryan Seacrest and what's his name? his name? The black man on Good Morning America. What's his name, y'all? Michael Strahan. It was between those two. And then all of a sudden, we were no longer talking about Michael. I knew it wasn't going to be Ryan Seacrest because I know he's very busy with Kelly and Ryan. That films 7 days a week in New York City after the final rose is filmed out here in Los Angeles. It's possible, but financially, it just would not make sense because there's no way after the final rose is going to pay him what Kelly and Ryan pays him. It doesn't make sense. It's not financially feasible if I were Ryan Seacrest. So then Emmanuel comes up and I'm like, well, this is a great choice because Emmanuel let me give you a little background on him and then we'll get into why I think he's a great pick. Emmanuel, acho. Emmanuel, this is from a Variety. They did an article on him about him replacing Chris Harrison for the as the host of After the Final Rose. Emmanuel is a best-selling author and the host of an online series called Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man, which serves to speak meaningful dialogue about racial ignorance. The show was launched in June 2020 and has more than 80 million views to date. He's a former NFL linebacker and he's also a sports analyst on the Fox show Speak for Yourself. What he said in his announcement that he's going to be the host for After the Final Rose, Emmanuel said it's both an honor and a privilege to be hosting After the Final Rose. This is an incredibly pivotal episode on one of the most storied shows in television history. Rachel Lindsay also was vying for him to get this position because she knows him and she's friendly with him. And I think she probably was one of the people who recommended him. And she said about Emmanuel being picked to host After the Final Rose, Brian and I both talked about this. We think that Emmanuel would be fantastic. He is very outspoken about racial injustice, for social justice, and has pretty much been the person who said, I can have these uncomfortable conversations and people trust it. Who better to lead it? Someone who's not involved in the franchise, no ties, no bias. I think he'd be great. And I absolutely agree with Rachel. Because at first I was thinking who could step in to replace Chris Harrison. And I thought it should definitely be somebody from Bachelor Nation. I still feel that way, right? But for this season, for After the Final Rose, I think it needs to be somebody who is not connected to this season and who has no feelings, no personal feelings or relationship with Chris Harrison to have the honest conversation. And this is what Emmanuel does on his show called the sound burning. Because y'all know my alarm went off yesterday. Child, if I take off running, just know my neighbor is probably setting something on fire, probably burning toast. The heifer can't cook. Let me stop being negative. Lord, forgive me. Forgive me. She's just so loud and annoying, Father. I'm sorry. I'm wrong. Forgive me. Anyway, that was a tangent. Anyway, Emmanuel has these tough conversations on his show called Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man. His show was very cringe to me. Why not? This is my show. Let me tell the truth and shame the devil. That show was cringe. That show was cringe to me. And it's cringe to me because I'm not that kind of Black person, right? I'm not going to sit down with a white person and dialogue with them about why they don't like the color of my skin. To hell with you if you think other. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't care. I'm not in that space to have the conversation about stuff like that. Like, we can talk about racism, but we can talk about racism in a way of understanding and healing. I can't sit down with you and you be like, well, I was raised to hate N-words. We're fighting. Who's an N-word? You know what I mean? But I know that's your process and you healing. But for me, you already have to be past that. And we just have to have a conversation about how you got free, how you got healed, how you got delivered. I'm not going to sit there and have the conversation with you and you be like, I grabbed my purse when Blacks walk by me. I don't want my kids mixing with the Blacks. Do you know the story about the red bird and the blue bird? I'm black in your eye. Emmanuel has made this his career, right? He feels safe enough and strong enough to have this conversation. God bless him, but I can't take that show. I feel like he has way too much patience with people who are very aware of what they are doing and are gaslighting him to his face. I knew for me that that show was not something that I need to be watching. When let's be real, let's tell the truth. And what? Shame the devil. White people were recommending that show talking about race. I was like, oh, hell no. I ain't seen not a one black, not one of my kin say, oh my goodness, that Emmanuel Acho show about race. Let's watch it. Let's get free. I haven't seen any of my people say anything about it. Everybody that has said something about his show and how they've grown and learned has been white. Good for him. Maybe that is his calling in life. As for me in my house, I can't watch it. Just thinking about it right now, my hairs are standing up on the back of my neck because I'm angry just watching it. He has the patience of Jesus Christ. I don't have it. I don't have it. So I think he is the perfect fit to have this conversation, because I think he's probably going to hear some things that if I was hosting after the final rose, I probably, would force somebody, which is why they didn't call me. So they pick somebody who is in the place to have this conversation, who is educated enough in this kind of dialogue with people who oppose who they are, and has the strength to not, I don't know if he's going to take it personal, because I don't know what his process is after he has these conversations, but obviously he's well versed in having conversations like this. So I absolutely agree. I didn't even think about him, but when his name started going around about possible picks, I was like, oh, he's perfect. He does that every day on YouTube. He probably does that every day at Fox. So he is, in my opinion, the perfect fit to lead after the final rose, because after the final rose is going to be race heavy. Race heavy. Why are we here, Bachelor? All you had to do was have a proper background check and have the right eyes on your background checks. How much money has this cost you? Fools. But I think Emmanuel is perfect. I think he is the perfect choice. Emmanuel, YO says, or Yo says, Emmanuel is going to pander to Rachel, and I'm going to want to punch him in the face. Punch her in the face. I hope not. Guys, I'm saying, for me, the shows are cringe, but I have seen him have these conversations. I do think that he's far too lenient, far too patient, and far too kind. But again, that's not my calling. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't built for that, which is why it's just not my cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I should be. I should be, but I'm not. So I think he's going to be great. I want him to do great. I don't want to hop on here after I watch, after the final rose and, be reading him for filth the whole time. So I hope that he is not afraid to speak on the opposing side, on the side of the affected by what Rachel did, and what Chris Harrison said. So I'm hoping maybe he'll bring Rachel on, because I think, let me tell you something. I always thought that Rachel would have been a great host for After the Final Rose, but I had been known about the racism that she was receiving, so I did not want her to do it. I knew she would kill, but I did not want her to do it. From what I'm seeing from Rachel, she, for me, I could watch her uncomfortable conversations with a sister. I could watch that show because I feel like she would be also able to speak for me in a way that I can be like, okay, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Emmanuel, from what I've seen on this show, I gotta be real, Emmanuel, I don't feel like he speaks for me. I feel like, oh God, do I want to say it? I gotta be honest. I'm not being ignorant. Sometimes when I'm watching his show, let me stop lying. The 3 times that I've watched his show, I've gotten, oh, I'm that black friend. Oh, Emmanuel, that's what I'm getting. I'm, because I'm just like, how the hell are you understanding this? How do you know what I mean? So for me, I don't feel like he could have the kind of race conversations that I would be I could sit through Rachel talking about it. I absolutely could. That doesn't mean that I don't think he's great for the show. I don't that I don't think he's a great pick for the show. I'm just saying he talks about race in a way where I'm not the intended audience. And I think that that's what he does. I think he's talking about race to help white people, help non-Black people who have issues with, you know, African people, African American people, people, you know, to help people who are racist, xenophobic, those kind of conversations, especially to people with deeper melanin. I think that I'm not the intended audience who he's speaking to, right? He's trying to help and heal the opposer, the oppressor. He's not trying to do that for me. There ain't nothing wrong with it. That is just his perspective of his show. With Rachel, I feel like she's speaking as an oppressed person to the oppressor with facts, tea, not backing down from it, but doing it, but handling it in a way where I feel like both parties can walk away and have learned something and agree to do better. So I think she would have been perfect. But from what she has been experiencing from the fan base, I just would not want to put her in that position. Michelle and Bree deserve an apology, K. Smith. Why do you think that, K. Smith? Why do they deserve an apology? Because Matt picked Sundown Town Rachel? Is that why? Let us sister know, K. Smith. Abigail says, I've watched only one of his videos, and it was the one with Rachel and Brian and Lindsay and Vaughn and her man at the time. I checked out after that. Oh, it's not for me. Yeah. And guys, I'm not saying that anything is wrong with it. I'm just saying I'm not the intended audience. That's all. Like, I don't want y'all to think that I'm dunking on Emmanuel. I don't know anything about him. I just don't think that he's talking about race for somebody like me. I think he's talking about race for other people to get an understanding. You know, if that's your calling, go ahead on. And absolutely, Latrice said Matt grew up with his mother in white spaces, so I get it. That's why I think he will also be a great person to have the conversation with Matt, because with Emmanuel giving off of, I'm the only Black friend, and Matt being the only Black friend in a lot of spaces in his life, not saying that anything is wrong with that, but I think that there's some comfortability and safeness in speaking with somebody who has similar experiences. And I think that Emmanuel can do that. Yeah, Rachel is worn down. Rachel is worn down. This franchise has done a number on her, and they haven't even properly paid her. Because let's tell the truth and shame the devil. I don't know how it's going to get out. I don't know how it's going to get out, but I guarantee you that the first Black bachelorette made way less than any of the other bachelorettes that we have had. If that ever comes to light, oh, that show is done for. That show is done for, but I'm telling you, Rachel did not make the same. She made far less than any other bachelorette. I promise you that. I promise you that. Latrice said Matt should have went to an HBCU if he really wanted to learn about himself. He's from North Carolina. I went to an HBCU in North Carolina. They have over 12 of them. He chose a PWI. As somebody who chose a PWI who definitely regrets it now, you really don't know the outcome, right? You don't know that an HBCU is needed for you until you're like gone through it and you're just like, man, I wish I were around my people at that time, right? You just really don't know. And so, like myself, Matt could be dealing with a lot of regret for that, because let's be real, in my experience, the counselors never recommended an HBCU. I even had one teacher who I love and respect who was just like, you want to go to Howard? No, we're going to shoot for NYU. NYU was only giving me $30,000 for one semester. How in the hell was I supposed to pay for the rest of the school? Howard probably would have gave me a full scholarship. I probably would have met Chadwick and Denzel. Are you kidding me? I definitely regret not going to an HBCU. But a lot of HBCUs are looked down on, looked down upon. So he probably could have had that same experience. Tiffany and Co. We would talk about Taylor putting in work. That apology, my God, today. I am also production side. I grew up in a Black space, and I didn't think I needed an HBCU. I'm going to a PWI now, and we're having race talks in other classes. Yeah, I think it's just something that you realize after you've gone to that, because I am a Black woman from the city of Philadelphia. I thought I knew racism until I went to a college in New York City. Liberal, diverse New York City. The racism that I went through at that school, some stuff I can't even talk about right now. You know what I mean? So I live with a lot of regret, because that was a time where I felt like I needed to be nurtured, and I experienced so much trauma. I actually ended up switching schools because of it. Yeah. Yeah, we're all lamenting about not going to Howard. It is what it is. Summer Bailey said, and this whole season has been more focused on whiteness than ever before. You see what I'm saying? That's the sickness of production. That's the sickness of production. They don't get it. If you don't, like, I think it's very ignorant to have a Black lead and have like one Black person on production. The Bachelor needed a lot of Black people on that show. Even if this was the first in production, even if this was the first time you ever had like Black people working in production on that show, so be it. You have a Black lead. You need somebody, you need a story producer who will be able to craft stories through his lens. Or just get somebody who is, multiracial, who is able to see how Matt is seeing himself, or the confusion that he's dealing with. It was a missed opportunity, and it's because they don't know, because they don't look like the lead. They don't understand the lead. They don't have those experiences. So thinking, hey, let's put his absent Black father who looks like he's suffering with substance abuse on the show, so we can show how, Matt is, trying to be a better man than his dad, but not realizing that the optics of that is going to be extremely triggering for people who are watching. So now they don't even know it, but they're set up for so much backlash from that episode that's coming up. A Black person would have called that out. A Black person would have been like, "Ooh, you know what? Maybe let's not have that conversation on TV. Maybe let's not watch Matt be triggered by his father. Obviously, saying he doesn't regret, being a bad daddy to him, because what that whole scene with Chris Harrison, and he's sitting down, how you doing, Matt? And Matt is crying, not good. We're seeing this Black man break down as his Black father, is obviously has been awful to him. Optics, baby, but they don't get it because that's not their experience. They're so detached from it. Like if Abigail is the Bachelorette, you're going to need to have people on the show who are deaf. You're going to need to have that. If we are hiring or, picking disabled contestants, you're going to have disabled people on production, at least working within the story producer role. Like, you got to have that, because how in the hell are you going to tell my story and you don't look like me and you haven't had my experience? How are you going to do that? You don't know. You can't speak for me. You can't see for me. You can't live this for me. You don't get it. But you're going to try to tell this story. You're going to tell my story the best way that you know how, as somebody who is an other. And that's how you get a show like this. It's all in production. It's all in production. Let me tell you something. As a Black actor, right? Whatever I get a script, I know exactly who wrote it. I know exactly who wrote it. I remember I got one script, and within one line, first of all, the line was supposed to be woo child. They wrote woo child. It is woo child. We don't say child. We say woo child. So that's why we spell it like chili. That's why some people are just like, oh, why are you saying chili? You're not Black. You don't get it, right? So I'm reading it, and it says woo child. Did you hear what happened? Sit down, sis. Let me give you the tea. I was like, it wasn't a Black that wrote this. It wasn't a black. Like, I know when somebody is writing for my people who has no experience with my people. Just like what we're watching right now. This show don't know what the hell they're doing with all them colored folks on this show. They don't have a clue, which is why we don't have anybody on the show who is a part of the LGBTQ community. They would not know what to do there. They'd be so confused. They'd be so confused. It would tank this show, the direction they would lead if the lead was of the LGBTQ community. So that's why they don't touch it. But y'all throwing in blacks now because y'all think y'all got it right with Rachel. And if you would have ever listened to the fan base, you would have known that you failed her. You failed her. The moment you put Lee on that show and went with his racist storyline on the first Black Bachelorette show, him calling contestants, boy, are you kidding me? Y'all failed her, so y'all chose Matt. Child. And you know what? This is the thing, right? It's, because of the money and because I wanted a better career, I regret this, right? But if given the opportunity to do it again, I would do the same thing. Can I tell you, when I read for that audition, I read it like they wrote it. I was like, ooh, child. I actually got a note from my agent about it. And they were like, well, they want you to read it a different kind of way. She's white. Well, my agent at the time was white. So she didn't know how to tell me that they wanted it to be sassy and all that. She didn't know how to tell me that. So she was like, they want you to read it a different way. So I read it a different way. I read it with an accent, but I read it the way they wrote it. Of course, I didn't get picked. I didn't want it. You think I want to go on TV? And I'm in this movie or whatever, and y'all seeing me, and y'all watching me go, woo cha, sis, what's the tea? I can't believe it. Y'all would drag me for filth, and I would deserve it. I would deserve it. No way. I was like, I'm tanking this audition. I don't care. I don't want this. Woo child. Sis, what's the tea? I read it how them demons wrote it. I didn't want that. Real talk. Before the pandemic, I was about to be the face of cotton. The face of cotton. And I'm telling you, God blocked it because I went in for this audition, right? So for some cotton commercial. Why the hell are y'all calling in Black people for a cotton commercial? And because I had a new agent, I took the audition, but normally I'm just like, oh, this isn't right for me. But I didn't want to start off already being like, oh no, girl, I'm not taking that. For my agent to be like, who the hell are you? So I took it, but I was going to take it. I was like, I'm taking this. There's no way. So I went in for the audition and I just read it very bland, very straight. And they were like, can you do it again? And the actor in me, damn it, I'm gonna be real. When you're good, you're just good. So I did something, right? But I didn't intend to do it. I was just reading it and this like came up and I did something. I did like a hair flick or something. And I said, like the real Nikki came out and I said it. And I'm telling you, everybody I was auditioning for lost it. They were laughing, like tears coming down their eyes, like, laughing tears. And they were like, oh, great job, Nicole. Great job, Nicole. And when I'm walking out, I hear them clapping. And I was like, oh my gosh, I booked this. Oh my gosh, my dark behind booked a cotton commercial. I was in my car because the audition was in Santa Monica and I had to drive all the way up to Sherman Oaks. Was it Sherman Oaks? Burbank. And I was in my car. Let me tell you something. I prayed heaven down. I was like, Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this opportunity. But Lord, I know you want more for me. Father, I cannot be the face of cotton. And it was like a huge commercial. It was a huge commercial, a lot of money. And I was like, Lord, I can't do it. Lord, please, Father. I did this because I was trying to please my agent, but this is what I get for pleasing man. Father, forgive me, Lord. I repent in the mighty, in the matchless name of Jesus, Lord. Please don't make me have to go through this process. Because if I book this job and I tell my agent, no, I don't have an agent. And it's so hard to get an agent in this in LA, Lord, please, Father, like praying heaven down. I don't care who was watching me because I looked like I was talking to myself, but I was talking to the Lord Jesus Christ. I prayed all the way from Santa Monica to Burbank. And if you're from LA, you know that's a long behind drive. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I didn't even reach Burbank. My agent called me. I booked it. I was like, oh Lord, God, no. So like I had to tell my family was excited. I was like, guys, it's not good news. I'm going to be the face of cotton. And my mom was like, listen, when the Lord sends a ram in a bush, you accept it. And I was like, no, I can't be the face of cotton. So literally right before it's time to film, we get a press conference from Governor Gavin Newsom, and he is telling us about a pandemic that is spreading across the nation, and we're going to have to go into lockdown. So while I'm getting all of the dates and everything, and I got to go to a fitting and all of this stuff, while all of that is happening, I am getting response emails saying, oh, we're going to put this on hold. We're going to pause this. We're going to do all of this. And the commercial was never able to be filmed because of the pandemic. I'm not saying I caused the pandemic, but I am saying this. Prayer changes things. Anyway, let's move on to Rachel Lindsay having to disable her Instagram. I prayed down heaven. It was not a game. And I needed that money, but not like that. Oh. Shadia said, Nikki, your autobiography one day. Oh my God, I know. I know. I was just like, when all this happened, I was just like, no, I'm not that powerful. Am I? Oh God. Listen. It like, guys, like clockwork. I literally got an email about meeting for the fitting. And then right after that, lockdown. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was still praying because who knew how long this freaking lockdown was gonna be? I was still praying because even in that process, we were still getting updates about like, my hair and all of this stuff. Even like, because they wanted to get certain things done. So by the time we were out of this, we could film. Prayer changes things. I just wanted him to like make the director want to work with a different actor. I didn't say cause a whole pandemic and a race war. I got to be specific in my prayers. I've realized that through telling you about this. I got to be more specific. Okay. Thank you. We're learning something here. Child, Ashley said he's faithful. I know, I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. I am so sorry. Let's get into Rachel Lindsay. So recently, Rachel Lindsay disabled her Instagram because of the racist attacks that she was receiving from Bachelor Nation. I told y'all about this in my second to last live, right? Yes, it was about Rachel. My second to last batch chat, where I was saying that when I read Chris Harrison's apology, all of the people, a lot of women, so disappointing. A lot of the women in the comments were saying you did nothing wrong, and they were turning it on Rachel, saying Rachel was the problem, Black people were the problem. Like, it was just, Chris Harrison's comments were awful. Absolutely awful. The same thing was happening with Rachel, Sundown Town Rachel, and her comments after her apology. Again, they were all supporting her, and then in one sentence they would support her, and the second sentence they would blame Rachel Lindsay. What Sundown Town Rachel did that I thought Chris Harrison should have did was she responded in the comments under her apology, and she was just like, listen, this apology is not for you. If you are not a bi person of color, Black, Indigenous, Because I always feel like that BIPOC is bisexual people of color. I don't know why. My mind just goes there. But Black and Indigenous people of color, please do not accept this apology nor comment on this. Chris Harrison should have did that because all of those comments were dragging Rachel Lindsay. Then I hop over to her comment section, and these people are nuts. They are absolutely psycho. They were going after her in under comments, under pictures that were like so old, had nothing to do with this, but they were like commenting under everything. And I think she started with disabling her comments, and then it just got so bad, she just deleted her Instagram. I'm not shocked that she did that, right? Because before she even mentioned it, she was saying, before she even did that, she was mentioning how Bachelor Nation has worn her thin, you know, because she has been the only visible contestant on this show who has been speaking about the race issues in this show. And she has been speaking about it in a way, in a very kind and understanding way that this show did not deserve. She was never attacking. She was really speaking from the heart and being extremely redeeming. Even in that interview with Chris Harrison, guys, we all watched it, and we all watched how she tried to save him, how she tried to help him clean up his comments, and he just doubled down, even going to the point where he said to her, "Who are you?" She tried to help that fool. He didn't care because he thought, "I'm Chris Harrison, ain't nothing gonna happen to me." Well, here we are, sweetie. Here we are. So then Rachel starts getting a lot of support. And let's talk about that. So she starts getting support from, after she is harassed by Bachelor Nation. Well, not all of Bachelor Nation, just racist people within. Bro, what time is it? It is 1:34. Why are you doing lawn work now? I cannot stay in this bougie apartment. Y'all know how I be going through with this apartment complex. Anyway, so her co-host for her Higher Learning podcast, Van Lathan, he writes this coming to Rachel's defense. He wrote on his Instagram, "My co-host has zero to do today with the words of a grown A man who still doesn't get it." He even tags Chris Harrison. He says to Chris Harrison, "Are you okay with people getting at Rachel to the point that she can't even exist on Instagram? Anyone from the entire Bachelor Nation going to stand up and condemn this harassment of a Black woman? Yo." Excuse me. He says, "Yo, it's just an effing TV show. Y'all need to relax for real. I love you, Rach. F these people." Right? Then Becca comes out after Dan makes his comment. She says, hold on, I gotta close out. What the hell is this? Oh, Us Magazine, you got too many damn ads. I can't even read the article. A bit of what she said about Rachel, she says, is the harassment, cruelty, and racism is not okay. You're right. Rachel and I are friends in real life, and unfortunately, the world, something, because this word is blocked out, interactions on a daily basis, and details aren't every and anyone's business. Just know I have her back through whatever time or breaks that she needs right now. Appreciate the concern. And she said this because a fan responded to the comment that Dan said, and I believe they tagged Becca, and they were just like, "Well, girl, ain't this your girl? Are you going to say anything?" So Becca said something. Then Nick Val, he says this. He says he defended his friend from hateful messages that she has received. He said, "It's sad that this even needs to be said, but Chris Harrison is who he is because of what he said, not because of anything that Rachel did." Then the next person who speaks up is her husband, Brian, who says he didn't really speak up about it, but he just said under a comment, under a picture of Rachel, he said, "I love you. I appreciate you. I believe in you. And I just wanted to let you know how proud I am. Keep going and never stop being yourself and fighting for what's right." A husband. Then JoJo said, It's honestly so sad that I'm even having to type this message, but unfortunately, it's not a new topic of concern. She wrote this on Instagram. If you are following me and think it's okay to send hateful, vile, and harassing comments, please take a moment of deep self-reflection and understand what that says about you. Hearing that Rachel Lindsay had to deactivate her account because of horrible bullying taking place is awful and unacceptable. We need to come together and be kinder to one another. Please, if you have ever been on the wrong side of this, do better, be better. Then Caitlin Bristow, y'all love her. I have no idea who this girl is, but she says she will not stand for harassment. I will happily lose so many followers if anyone on here that follows me is sending any sort of negative message to Rachel Lindsay to have her hit a wall and deactivate her account. Unfollow me. Okay, Caitlin, I see why they like you. Promise, no offense taken. Why am I doing Caitlin like this? She probably don't even sound like this. Don't care about the numbers going down. If you have in any way sent Rachel a message of hate or of hate or racism or anything that will contribute to her feeling so uncomfortable to deactivate her Instagram account, please unfollow me. Totally fine with that. Then our boy Mike says, he just tagged Rachel on Instagram, and he's on his Instagram story. But you're Black, you don't have to do any work about this. We've done enough. He tags Rachel on his Instagram story and says, Rachel, we stand you. But I wish it would just been on your Instagram and not your story, because that disappears. But thank you for saying something, Mike. Then Astrid said, stop harassing people and get a life. Sending hateful messages to someone you don't know is actually insane. Okay. Becca Tilley. Who is this? I thought she was the girl that country singer that won. What is that show? American Idol. That's who I thought this was. But this is Becca Tilley. She said the fact that we are in a place where people feel so comfortable being so hateful to someone's best option is to deactivate their Instagram account is appalling. Rachel Lindsay and other bisexual people of color have spoken out against racism, calling for people to be held accountable and asking for the Bachelor franchise to do better. And the response that they receive on a daily basis is just more hate. People are so quick to use their time and energy to perpetuate the hate and fuel the fire instead of simply listening and being open to learning and growing. If you get mad about people being mad about racism, I will start there and ask yourself why. Now, Astrid, this is what you should have said. Thank you so much, Becca Tilley. Then we have Alexis Waters. Who is this? I don't know, but y'all probably know her. Alexis says, bro, at Rachel Lindsay did not get Chris Harrison fired. If you don't like her or her opinions, keep effing scrolling. Bullying someone is not the answer. Oh, here we go. Katie from this season of Bachelor. She says, I stand with Rachel Lindsay in everything that she is. I aspire to be as smart as she is, as fierce as she is, as entertaining as she is, as caring as she is. We'd all be lucky to have Rachel Lindsay in our lives. While many of us do not know her personally, she allowed us all to follow her. She has invited us into her life. Many have disrespected her. She has now deleted her Instagram account. I want my stance to be known. I will always be a Rachel Lindsay supporter. If you are a part of the hate that she has experiencing, then follow me now. In the meantime, if you love and support her as much as I do, visit her website and learn about the various projects that this talented woman is a part of. Oh, I like that. Defend me and then send people to my website so I can get more coin. That's the kind of support we all need. Matt, we already heard what Matt said, but he did send prayer hand emojis under Brian's post about Rachel. Then Ben Higgins, y'all love him. If anybody out there is adding any more hate, anybody, especially somebody like Rachel, to somebody especially like Rachel, it is not okay. What are we doing? Where do we go from here if we're adding on to more hate, if we're expounding racism, if we're not trying to heal, but instead trying to hurt? How far can this go? We cannot continue to just add more hate onto hate, especially with somebody trying to bring racial reconciliation to try to advance racial injustice. At the end of all racial justice, at the end of all of this, are we all not trying to love each other well, to see each and every one of us as human, but also to recognize the injustice that has been in this world and that still exists in this world, and then try to go out and combat that so that all of us can be together. So if you're adding on to Rachel's life with more negativity and more hate, you're missing it. Let's change our perspective. Let's use our energy for something good. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's that simple. Let's use our energy for something good that helps the world and not hurt it. Okay. Come on, Ben Luther King. Oh, who is this? Caitlin. Kaylin, Dean's girlfriend, is living with him in the van. She says, if you are someone sending hateful comments to Rachel Lindsay, please take a second to think about what you're doing. Why do you have so much hate in your heart? Rachel stood up against racism. She tried to educate us. She's done nothing wrong. I can't believe these horrific comments she is getting and blame that is being placed on her so wrongly. This hate and harassment needs to stop. Please put down your phones and think about what you're doing. Your words hurt. There's a lot of people who are speaking up. Who is that person? Oh, what did the goose say? The goose says, you already know where I stand, and that's with Rachel. This online bullying, judgment, and negative spewing and S-talking needs to stop. Oh, you could have just said nothing, Goose. You could have just said nothing. Anyway, those are some of the people who spoke out about the harassment that Rachel was receiving. Justice for Jubilee. Come on, Latrice. Now, let me get into what the producers had to say about what was happening to Rachel. So this is what the producers of The Bachelor said, the executive producers. As executive producers of the Bachelor franchise, we would like to make it perfectly clear that any harassment directed towards Rachel Lindsay in the aftermath of her interview with Chris Harrison is completely inexcusable. Rachel has received an unimaginable amount of hate and has been subjected to severe online bullying, which more often than not has been rooted in racism. That is totally unacceptable. Rachel has been an incredible advocate for our cast, and we are grateful that she has worked tirelessly towards racial equity and inclusion. Now, after we have all of these, after Van Lathan, her co-star on the Higher Learning podcast, after he made that statement, everybody from Bachelor Nation started to speak out, very prominent people in Bachelor Nation, and then we get the executive producers speaking out about the racism that Rachel has received, the racism and online bullying and hate comments and harassment that she has received that made her delete her Instagram account. So they're all speaking out because of what happened, what Rachel did. And to that I say, too damn late. Too damn late. Y'all said all of these things, chastising y'all followers. Y'all like 3 or so years late. 3 years late, because when homegirl, not even, it's like 3.5 or 4, because when Nick Val was rubbing up and kissing up on her, y'all was hating on her then. Y'all was calling her all kinds of names then. Bachelor Nation has been dragging Rachel. When she became the Bachelorette, and she started, while she was live tweeting about the show, she started responding to racist messages that she was receiving on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. These demons were emailing her racist stuff. She started responding to that. What did y'all do? Y'all didn't say a damn thing. Instead, y'all called her Clapback Rachel. Remember that? Remember y'all was calling her Clapback Rachel? That's not you don't want to say nothing to her because she claps back at these people. Remember that? Remember that's what y'all called her? Nobody came to her defense. She was not clapping back. She was getting them racists together who were coming after her and saying awful things. I remember I talked about that. I was like, y'all calling her Clapback Rachel. But do y'all see what she's responding to? She's responding to racism. But instead, you just called her Clapback Rachel. Now, after she has went through all of this hell for years, and had to now disable her Instagram because it's gotten that bad. Now y'all want to stand up for her. Y'all too late. Y'all are way too late. Here is why they did that, right? I'm not going to say that they don't love Rachel, they don't care for her, that they don't disagree with the things that she's going through and think that everything that is happening to her is vile, right? But what they did not want to do was affect their money, because Bachelor Nation, at least the contestants, are very aware of who is the majority of this show and who watches it. And you know good and well that the people that you pander to will not be okay with you putting up black squares and saying Black Lives Matter, justice for George Floyd, say her name, all of that. Y'all know who your audience is. So that's why y'all never said nothing about what Rachel was going through until Van said something and called y'all out. That's the only reason why all of these messages and support came out about Rachel, is because of Van from the prominent people in Bachelor Nation. And had it not been for the 25 bi POCs, I always hear bisexual, the bi POCs of this current Bachelor season, had they not released that message, because you guys are all seasoned, y'all let the newbies show you up first. The newbies were the one who had to say something. The men and the women, the men of Rachel, what's her name, Tasia's season, and the women, the bi POC women of Matt's season, made a statement first. Before all of these big wigs in Bachelor Nation, before all of these popular and beloved people in Bachelor Nation said something. And even then, y'all didn't say anything till Van came to her defense and called y'all out. Becca, why somebody had to call you out in Instagram comments? Oh, well, no, I said something to her in private. That is my friend. We have a relationship that is not online. Your friend had to disable her Instagram because of racism, because of the racist stuff that people are saying to her and inboxing her. If that's your friend, you didn't know that before she disabled her Instagram? You didn't want to mess with your money. You didn't want to mess with the people that keep your lights on. That's what the real issue is. They don't want to mess with that money, because they know if they start posting stuff like that, if they start being in support of Rachel, who is looked at as this evil Black woman that has taken down a successful white man known as Chris Harrison, they know they're going to lose support and followers. So now they're doing this thing. If you want to unfollow me, go right ahead. That to me is a challenge where they know the outcome, because now people don't want to unfollow, because this person said, if you unfollow me, basically you're a racist. The person is just like, oh, damn, I was going to unfollow her because I am a racist, but I don't want everybody to know that. So let me just stay, let me just continue to follow her until all this dies down. Then I'll unfollow her. Y'all know exactly what y'all doing. A little too late for me. A little too late for me. Rachel been getting it since she was on Nick's season. Y'all ain't said nothing then. Y'all didn't say anything then until somebody with a large following and a blue check mark says something about how y'all are not supporting Rachel. Little too late. Little too late. Let's move on. Oh, let me see what y'all have to say about that. Tip and Co said Rachel and Taylor are the loudest ones for Bachelor Nation talking about racism. I'm not surprised they coming for Rachel L and Taylor in the same weekend. The devil is working hard after Black History Month. Always, always. Too little, too late. Shonda, Ben Luther King. I love everything that they said, but it's a little too late. She's been going through it, guys. I was telling y'all when I was watching her live tweets of the show, like all of her first comments, it's always somebody saying something just wildly racist to this woman on the internet. Those are her comments all the time. As a Black person, you deal with racism on a daily basis. Some stuff you have to deal with. It doesn't, because that's just how the world is right now, unfortunately. It doesn't mean that it never affects you. Some stuff we just got to roll off, brush our shoulders off and keep on going, because we can't stop and fall apart for every racist things that happen to us in a day. We would never get up, right? Doesn't mean it doesn't affect us. Even with me, y'all know, for a long time, I was team Rachel and Peter. Because listen, for me, It was when she was crying with that man in that little hobbit house, taking off her eyelashes. I was like, girl, this has to be him. Look at the way y'all are crying. I just never saw her marrying Brian. I never saw it watching that season. And some of you who have changed your mind, you were the same place that I was at. I obviously changed my mind when I saw her with them, because I know I don't believe the Bachelor and the Bachelorette. I think that everybody's just doing this show for fame. But for Rachel, it was the real deal. It shocked the hell out of me. I thought it was a come up for her, but it was really the real deal for her, right? I was not okay with that, right? I still was like Team Peter. That was like my pick for her. What made me change my mind very quickly, outside of seeing how good they are together and how much Brian just really loves her, outside of that was I had to no longer just be a viewer and a reviewer of the show. I had to go in the black girl mode and start defending this chick, because the comments that people were saying to her, like, to be quite honest with you, I had to unfollow her Instagram. It was too much hate for me. And that wasn't even my Instagram. Like, you see her post something and like right under it is something racism. I was like, oh, this is triggering. This is triggering. And that was triggering for me. And that wasn't my Instagram. They put her through it. Bachelor Nation put her through it. And the fact that she still had the strength to speak on the racism that goes on within Bachelor Nation says a lot about her. A lot about her. But unfortunately, it got to her. And that just happens. Sometimes you can, unfortunately, deal with the weight of racism. And then sometimes it just gets the best of you. And it's hard. It's not easy. It's something we all know about. And I wish she had earlier support from the people that are speaking up now, because it's showing me that you saw that it was a problem, but it wasn't enough of a problem for you to affect your coins, for you to affect your following. You didn't want to do that because you live, eat, and breathe off of this fan base. So you didn't want to upset them. You were playing a politician while this woman was being dragged through hell by the same fan base that you eat off of. So especially what Ben said, I love that, right? It came at the wrong time for me. So it's null and void at this point, because she has already buckled under the racist harassment that she is receiving, which is why she deleted her Instagram. Her Instagram is a huge moneymaker for her. She had a great following. I think she was like at 1 million or close to 1 million at this point. That is money for her. But she decided to let that bag go for her own mental health. Where was y'all at before that? A little too late for me. Little too late for me. Oh, Simeon Walker said, I saw a picture of Dean with this girl, and she captioned, oh, I remember that picture with Dean and him laughing about that. That was very ignorant on his part. Oh, Dylan is mad silent. Yes, he is, Shadia. Oh, Miss Chris said now they call her aggressive and outspoken. They were calling her aggressive and outspoken before. That clap back Rachel, that's what that whole thing was. That's what that whole thing was. JB says what? I don't know this Rachel woman, but damn, does she alone speak for Black people? Oh no, Rachel is the first Black bachelorette. She was the first person who called out the racial inequalities within Bachelor Nation. But it wasn't it wasn't like, oh, this is what they're doing to me. She was really trying to have a rightful and uncomfortable conversation with the fan base of this show and with the contestants of this show. And she just got the short end of the stick, unfortunately. Thank you. Abigail Cameron said, yep, they called her clapback queen, as if she should have been taking that abuse with a smile. Tell it. Simply Simone said 4 years and now they want to talk. Keep it. Keep it. Where have y'all been? Where have y'all been? I ain't heard a peep from Colton, but I understand him not saying anything. He already got a lot to deal with. I think Colton, honestly, I think Colton would have said something if he wasn't dealing with the fallout from Cassie filing a report against him. She dropped the charges, I think. Oh yeah, Rachel got Peter together on that after the final rose. I was like, what? Miss Brown Sugar said, and if you ever try to have a conversation with someone and ask what their actual issues was with Rachel Lindsay, they never have anything. They never have anything of substance to say, just as she talks too much and she's an instigator. Yep. She doesn't leave well enough alone, right? She speaks on the wrong stuff happening within Bachelor Nation, but because it's happening to people that the majority doesn't care about, it's okay. But when somebody who is affected by it speaks up on it, now she's an instigator. Now she's causing problems. Now she's clapped back Rachel. 4 years. 4 years they left that woman out there to die. And now they saying something? Please. Now y'all want to speak. Colton doesn't like Rachel because she would do her Instagram story comments about his season, and he didn't like her Instagram stories recaps on his season. Oh, Rachel MC said Rachel on her Higher Learning podcast said that she's already feeling lighter with disabling Instagram. She seems happier. How unfortunate. How unfortunate. Oh, El Boogie said, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch your Rachel season reviews. I miss those. We had a good time. I think that was my first introduction into this show. Yep, Rachel brought me here. And I'm still here. And that's another thing. They're blaming her for this because it's the first Black Bachelorette. She brought in an audience that was not, Bachelor fans. Like but a lot of us who came in because of her was not watching the show before. And so because of that, the demographic of Bachelor Nation started changing, and the fan base who came here started noticing things that were not okay and calling that out. So that's why a lot of those people blame her, because they think that because she brought this different kind of community to Bachelor Nation, that she's ruining the show, when actually she's improving it and making it better and making it a show that everybody can enjoy, not just a small, demographic. A small different demographic who, still pretty large. Oh yeah, Jennifer said Rachel called Colton out for plotting to be the Bachelor. We all saw that in Paradise. Why was he mad that we could see you trying to secure that bag? Nisa Queen said their favorite thing is saying that she always brings race into everything, as if it isn't already in everything. It's always about race. It is always about race. This nation is built on 400 years of enslavement of my people. You mean to tell me in about 80 or so years, all of that went away? Get out of here. It's always about race. The reason why I get paid less than people who are lighter than me is because of race. The hair on my head, it just became legal to wear it in a workplace. It's because of race. It's always about race, y'all. Oh, that's when you first started watching Vitara. Yes. Ashley, I'm only staying with her if they pick Abigail. I don't feel like watching any other Bachelorette that's not Abigail. I'm too invested. I'm too invested in Abigail being the Bachelorette. Oh, Jubilee definitely deserved better. I agree with you. KT said you were funny, Nikki, in Rachel's reviews, but no shade. You were wrong about Brian. Brian, love you. Absolutely, I was wrong about him. Absolutely. I own that. I own it. You see what I'm doing, MJ? I'm owning my faults. I'm owning my mistake. I'm owning being wrong, MJ. And you know what? It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. I was wrong and I'm owning it. It's so easy. It's so easy. Simply Simone said, girl, I've been subscribed to you since Rachel season. We've been through a ride. We absolutely have. Speaking. Oh, yeah. Ashley, I'm about to talk about that now. Speaking of people who need to be owning it, let's get into Taylor. Girl, what? So I'm going to be very clear about this. Taylor is being exposed about her problematic racist and homophobic tweet and fatphobic tweets because she is speaking out about racism within Bachelor Nation. That two things can be true. Her tweets can be problematic, and she could actually, and Bachelor Nation could act with the people who have a problem with her, and Bachelor Nation can absolutely be going after her because she is speaking up about the racism that is going on in Bachelor Nation. And that's what's happening here. That is what's happening here because until Taylor started to talk, because her whole Instagram, listen, her Instagram is a ride. Taylor be waking up choosing violence. That Instagram is a ride. I'm like, are white people still following you? We talk about race here, but I'm like, I'm not trying to burn everything down. Taylor, you know, she hops on that Instagram with a match and some gasoline, and she's just like, come on, whites, it's time. And she just goes in. So, absolutely, she's being exposed because of that, right? But sis, we got to get into that apology. We have to get into that apology. Let's talk about where you went wrong. We got to start from the beginning. We have to start from the beginning. So, Bachelor Discuss posted her tweets, her problematic tweets from, I think, 10 plus years ago, right? So the first tweet, this tweet is the first tweets that we're looking at that I'm reading from are from 2011 and 2012. Taylor says, brother, talking to somebody, you are such an F word, which is a homophobic slur, but I still love you, Wolverine. Then the next tweet is, I stole that haha from Avor, F word. The next tweet, redneck language, don't understand. Bob told me that. He asked where the F word was. Then she says, you are a F word, freshman retards. What were you going through in college? Then she says, no wonder this lady is fat and has a huge fupa. 2 regular Coke bottles on her desk. 2, not diet. Poor lady was minding her business, and here comes Taylor. Next tweet, Cold Stone population. Fat Asians, fat white people, Jews, and skinny black people. What does that even mean? Then she says, why did everyone get fat? Hashtag looking back. These are all from 2011 and 2012. Then the next one is that awkward moment when you're in the elevator with a fat guy who should really be taking steps. Another person just minding their business. And then here comes Taylor. The next tweet, the people in the talent show sure are the fat people on YouTube who have talent. Your tweets are not even making sense. The next tweet, hashtag that awkward moment when you see a F word Asian. She really has an issue with fat people and Asians. She really, really does. When back then, when you see a fat person, when you see a F word Asian on campus trying to be cool, hashtag fell. Here is where we go in. Indian guys, please shower before hitting the club or coming anywhere near me. Hashtag thanks. Like, do they make it mandatory that working at Subway you have to be Indian? Jesus, yes, Taylor. Jesus. Then hashtag that sad moment when you see a very ugly Asian dressed very poorly running across campus with her backpack on wheels. These people are minding their business. Why are you so concerned? Hashtag Asian problems aren't S. They get red when they're drunk. That's the wrong there. The wrong there. When they're drunk, they have a small penis. Oh my God, Taylor. I didn't read these before. I'm sorry. I should have read these before. They get made fun of for being smart. It's hard to see. Not making sense. I love when formerly pretty girls get fat. Makes my day just that much better. Fat guys have no swag. I feel bad for them. Love you. Okay. I got to address this because I did not read these tweets before I got on here. Maybe I should have did that. What the hell were you going through in college? The tweets are not making sense. It's just hate. For what? Did a big girl take your man? Because all of them fat comments, girl, and they were like all within the same amount of time. So what happened? Did a chick with a fupa take the man you wanted? What was going on? They didn't even make sense. It was just, to me, it looked like, just in my opinion, it looked like she needed a sentence to like make her hate make sense, but it just didn't make sense. I don't know what she was going through in college. But that's weird. And the words of Cardi B, that is weird. So then, before we get into our apology that she posted on YouTube, let me just read this. She wrote this, right? And then right after she writes this, she gets exposed for her problematic tweets from so long ago. Girl, they were problematic. I ain't even gonna hold you. They were problematic. I didn't think they were that bad because I'm like, what is Taylor gonna say? I was wrong. But she says this first, and then she gets exposed. Friendly reminder that one of the best ways you can show your support is to call for change through using your platform. Calling out Bachelor Nation, especially the popular ones, not just be saying things should be better, but specifically by naming the change you want to see and how you support it. Use your own words, please. Chris Harrison should be fired, period. That's when she got him pissed. Now, that's when she got him pissed, and they started researching. He should not be allowed to hold his positions for many reasons, but especially after the abuse and aggression towards Rachel Lindsay and that unedited 13-minute interview, and for his honest and passionate defense of racism. No lies detected. No lines detected. If folks really want to be supportive of Black women, the B in Black women needs to be capitalized, Taylor, but it's okay. You're learning. Be anti-racist and whatever else. And then guess what? Sometimes that means going against the people you want to please. Speak, Taylor, or maybe we'll give you opportunities. Come on, the girl is speaking. Sometimes that means taking a risk. Sometimes that means reallocating and or losing some power and money. Sometimes it means upsetting people. And all of it is worth it because Black women, capitalize the B girl, deserve 100% better than how this franchise and how this country treats them, period. It sucks that it has to get to the point where Rachel Lindsay has to be harassed and bullied so badly to disable her Instagram for folks to feel motivated to speak out in support, when really y'all should have just stood up for her in the first place, which could have reduced the amount of effery currently. But then again, it's easier for white folks to publicly stand up against someone bullying than to publicly stand up against someone defending racism. Oh, girl, you lit the match. I told y'all she be lighting a match on this Instagram. I still hope people continue to speak up because Black women on this show and Rachel Lindsay should not have to feel alone in this. In fact, they aren't, because they have shared experience, and no one cares until it's really bad, when we have been telling you the whole time and you didn't listen. You wouldn't do or say anything. Y'all usually show you care about us when you watch us get murdered. She's speaking. And even then it can be fleeting, but like, damn, it's got to be that bad. So why do you stand with her now? Come on, Taylor. But during the several weeks after watching the interview, I hope folks continue to speak up, not just against bullying of Rachel Lindsay, not just against the bullying that Rachel Lindsay is experiencing, but also set the record straight on why this is happening in the first place and how harm was perpetuated after that interview. In your own words, let us know how and why. Girl, when did you post this? 2 days ago. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's how you that's why they lit you up. So then Reddit, somebody on Reddit puts up her old tweets, then it makes it to Instagram, and then she says this. I have been being attacked and harassed online for weeks. My video earlier wasn't concise because I didn't feel like I could even have a day to process everything that was coming my way. At the time of the video, I only had seen the tweets towards by people of BIPOC communities, but obviously have hurt many outside of that, close to even marginalized group, close to every marginalized group, honestly, because of all of what I said in my video, and because of the environment that I was in, and that still doesn't excuse it or justify it, which is why I do the work that I do today and for the last several years. This is nuanced and there's a lot to unpack. These tweets were not surfaced in good faith and were in direct opposition to the work that I do today for all the communities who were hurt by my tweets and wanted to fight against that folks who were upset at my tweets for the last several years. This is nuanced and there's a lot to unpack. These tweets, oh no, hold on. Folks who were upset at the standard Bachelor Reddit page covering politics and advocating for BIPOC contestants created their own subreddit that is essentially anti-woke Bachelor Reddit. I do not apologize to you. None of this is for you. You are relentless and I will not let you to continue to cause harm. None of this was to help those communities, but to create chaos and distraction. These are the people who surfaced the tweets. And she said, temporarily, and in her Instagram, on her Instagram, she said, temporarily disabling my comments due to the extreme harassment and death threats, right? So this is her response to that apology. Oh, Kay Pratt, thank you so much for the super chat. Kay Pratt said, once at a Halloween party, a guy came in blackface and a fake afro. I ignored him, but others confronted him. He cornered me and yelled, if you weren't here, no one would have a problem with my costume. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I don't thank you for the super chat. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. So he was okay with the blackface, just not with being called out on it. And instead of addressing the people who came for him, he came for you. Easy, because you're an easy target. Let's unpack that. This is what I want to say about Taylor's apology, right? Like I said before, I thoroughly believe that she was that the exposing of her problematic tweets was revenge for the way that she is speaking about the racism in Bachelor Nation, because I agree with everything that she said in that first post that was posted 2 days ago about the harassment and racism that Rachel received. As a somebody within the BIPOC community, I want to speak on the apology. Her apology, I think it was about 30 minutes. Like I said before earlier, it was 29 minutes and 30 seconds too long, because an apology should always stand alone. Your apology should never come with an explanation. It should always be, I am sorry for what I did. Explain what you did and the harm that you caused to that person. That's it. Or that community, right? That's it. Like I told you before, my mom always taught me that apologies aren't good enough. There needs to be a repentance. So a repentance is where you apologize for what you did and you make good, or you do the effort to not do that again. So there is an apology and then there is change behavior immediately, right? That's what that should have been, right? I think Rachel was more, not Rachel, but Taylor was more heated with being exposed and who exposed her than the fact that she said and tweeted out to the world those really awful things about disadvantaged communities. That's where her focus should have been. The harm that she caused when she did it. Because now that you're on this TV show and you're verified, now it's a problem, right? But it wasn't a problem for you back then. Yes, the rest of the world is seeing the tweets that you sent out a very long time ago, and they're being hurt by it. But what about the people who were in college with you? What about the people who were friends with you, who are from those communities that heard or read those things that you said about them? They don't have a huge following. They don't have a lot of backing. They probably didn't have any power at that time against you to stop you from doing those things. And in that moment, you felt empowered to harm that community because you know how they are being treated as a person of color, right? So my only issue with Taylor is that her apology was mixed in with an explanation and a defense. No, mama, apologize. That's it. Then you should have loaded another video talking about the subreddit or whatever. It just should have been separate, because when you apologize to me and then you say, like, I'm just going to give myself as an example. I don't want you to apologize to me and say, I'm sorry for the things that I did to you, but I did that because now I'm checked out. The moment you said, but, I'm checked out because you're about to give me an excuse for the behavior. I'm hurting. I don't care about the excuse, because the excuse for you makes you feel better because you're getting some sympathy from me. Like, that's where that excuse comes from. Sometimes it comes from a very pure place, but it's manipulative because you want me to know I was in a bad space when I did that. I get that you were in a bad space. You still shot me, bro. I'm still in pain. I'm still healing from that. You know what I mean? Like, the excuse that hurt people hurt people. I get it. I totally understand what that is. That doesn't mean that I'm not still in the pain from what that hurt person did to me. It's still not okay. The apology should have been left as is, and then the other stuff should have been separate. That is the only issue that I have with her with that apology. Now, let's get into what she said, right? It became it went way left, right? For several reasons in this apology. The first reason is you brought in other people who are not involved in your problematic tweets. You brought in Demi, you brought in Hannah. Who else did you bring in? You brought in Demi, you brought in Hannah, and you brought in Sundown Town Rachel in your apology and defending you. No, because we're not talking about Hannah. We're not talking about Demi. We're not talking about Rachel. We're talking about you and what you did. Again, that behavior, saying those things, is trying to lighten your offense instead of just rawly owning what you did and, doing the work, repenting and moving forward with that. You're like, well, I didn't do what Demi did. I didn't do, like, the subreddit people are trying to compare me to Demi and what she did and said, and to Rachel and what no. Demi, Rachel, and Hannah should not be catching a stray in your apology to the BIPOC community or the LGBTQ community, right? They should not be involved in that. It should just be you and your offense and what you did. That's where you went wrong. And then you went wrong with this. I've been doing this work. I do this work. I give back to the communities that I offended. I'm getting better. I am better. No. Because again, the people who are affected by what you said, that doesn't lighten it for me. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it better that now you get it and you're doing the work, because you're saying it in the same breath that you're apologizing to me. The apology just needs to stand alone. We don't need to find out about the other people who you think who are white, who did the same thing that you did and how it's different because you are part of the BIPOC community, or that you're not the same person anymore. You're better, and we should not be as upset because you're doing the work and you gave back to those communities that you attacked, right? Because it's giving off of, I've always been so kind to you people. I've always been so nice to you people. Yes, I did this, but look at what I'm doing now. I said this about the Indian community, but look at me. Look at me on Instagram, braiding a Native American girl's hair. Like, what? That's it. It just, I feel like everything else that she said after the 30-second mark was too much. And it was too much because it removed, like after the apology, everything you said after the apology removed the apology. It was just, you kept on reoffending and then trying to clean it up. Girl, you should have just left it alone, because then you start, oh, the white people are doing this to me because, I'm doing the work and I'm calling them out. Right. Racist white people from the Bachelor fan base absolutely are doing that. It could also be people of color who are not Black, right? Non-Black people of color who do not like Black people and agree with the treatment that we are receiving, who are doing that as well. Because I will say this, we try to make this fight black and white, but I'm telling you, it's a lot of non-Black people of color doing the same thing that racist white people are doing, if not more. That's another lie for another day. But she just kept on reoffending and not just apologizing and repenting. That's what she should have done. I agree with her. This was absolutely an attack because of the work that she is doing and because of what she is saying and how she is using her platform. Absolutely agree with you, sis. You should have just apologized and left it at that. Let that simmer for a minute and then speak out on why you think this happened and get back on track. That was your offense right there. Kamaya McLean gave your girl a super chat. She said, "Hi, Nikki. Hope you're having a great day." I am, Kamaya. Thank you so much. So that's thank you for the super chat. That's where Taylor went wrong. And then in her apology, she speaks of how she was saying those things about Indian men because when she met, she would, like, Indian guys would approach her because they thought she was Indian. And when they would find out that, I think she's her mom is white and her dad is Black. I think it's the other way around. But she has a Black parent, basically. And she said when she would say that, Indian men would get disgusted and no longer be interested in her. So she said that those tweets were coming from that because she was in a place of pain, being rejected by men because of her Black parent, or the racism that she was receiving as somebody with melanin who has a Black parent, and there was a lot of self-hate in there. I get it. Hold on. I have a super chat from Anika. Hey, Anika, thank you so much for the super chat. Anika said, "Hi, Knick-Knack. Hey, boo, glad I caught you. Still on mommy duty. Just wanted to send you some Delaware love." Thank you. Kiss the baby for me, Anika. Thank you, my love. Yes. No.
Well, I'm getting ready.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No, you're not. I'm going with you.
Well, you better tell them.
No, I'm on a very important topic. We're talking about Taylor from Bachelor Nation and her racist tweets.
But I have a second job.
Yes, I understand that. And you asked me to go with you, and I have some errands to run.
That's okay. Well, I got another person that I'm.
No, it's not happening. Please step out. Let me finish this. Thank you.
How long?
Thank you.
How long?
Do not be a distraction. I bind you up in the mighty and the matchless name of Jesus. I'm doing work here. I'm doing work. We are getting free.
Okay.
Dismiss all distractions. I apologize. I apologize for that. Anyway, I got to get to the post office. That's why she's rushing me. But it's not going. It's 2:30. They won't be closed. Anyway, Taylor, again, that excuse of the Indian men were mean to me, or, doing a racism to me, so I did a racism to them. Oh, it's still not okay, right? Because you're acknowledging the fact that you were hurt by the racism that they did towards you. So you decided to do the same hurtful thing to them. It's not okay because you acknowledge what it is and how wrong it is. And then you exacted the same behavior onto them and onto Asian people. And then you went, like all of that anger and hate and pain that you were dealing with, you put it out there on heavyset people or, like I said, Asian people. And it's the only thing you just need to say is sorry. That's it. That's it. I get where she's coming from, but none of that, the work, recognizing the internalized hate, none of that excuses what you did unless you give an apology. It still doesn't excuse it, but that's you rectifying the wrong that you did. When you start bringing up reasoning, it distracts from what you need to be doing, which is apologizing and repenting. Listen, the world is changing. We all have a lot of work to do. Everybody's going to mess up. Everybody's going to make mistakes. The thing is how you go about fixing the mistakes that you do. If the first thing that you say to me when you offend me is, oh, I get that, but I did this because we got a problem. Because for me to heal or for me to want to move on with you or feel safe with you, I need an acknowledgement of the wrong that you have done and a promise from you to fix that and actively work on correcting that behavior and doing the work to remove whatever sickness is in you that will make you treat me that way because of something that I could not control, which is the color of my skin, the body that I'm put into, the class that I am put into. You know what I mean? So a lot of those things, a lot of those issues come from that and how you view me and how you treat me. Because Taylor, let's be very honest, as a woman of color who looks the way she looks, knew that she could say that about lesser protected communities, which is the Asian community, right? You know how disadvantaged, when you're from a disadvantaged community, you know the hierarchy. Let's be real about that, right? You know who is the least protected. Now, let's be very clear. Black women are the least protected community in this world, right? But I come from a community that has been known to be loud about the injustice that we receive, that has been known to put in the work. So, and get things done, right? Hello, civil rights movement. So, although we are one of the least protected communities, we are a community that people think twice about messing with, right? We are a community that when people come after us, they get it right quickly because they know the power that we have. Taylor going after Asian people, Taylor going after fat people or heavyset people, Taylor going after Asian people. She knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She knew not to tweet that about no black woman. She knew not to tweet that about black men. She knew not to tweet about white people. She knew what community to go after. Acknowledge that. Deal with that. It was a long time ago, right? Everybody grows. Everybody grows. But just acknowledge, I think, to be honest with you, an apology goes a long way. Because what can I say to you after you apologize and change your behavior? Why would I give any more energy to being mad at you when I'm seeing that, one, you are sorry, like you are repentant and you have done the things to change? Why still stay there if I see you doing the work? If anything, I want to get that off of me and move forward. I'm holding this to protect me from you trying to hurt me again. So just acknowledge that and just move forward. I agree with everything that she said in her first post that she posted 2 days ago. The issue in the apology was trying to put her wrongdoing on other people. You know, and saying, oh, like when people throw, oh, it was this long ago, or I was going through this nah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. Just apologize. And honestly, that's what a lot of people want. Apology and change behavior. It's not a lot to ask for. Just recently, yesterday, I was in a live about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and somebody who was watching the playback made a comment about something I said that I later clarified, right? And they thought that I was attacking the community that they came from, right? So while they were watching the playback, they did a super chat and told me that I had offended them with the comment that I had made. Very honest with you, I felt some sort of way because I had already clarified that, because I realized when I said it, it wasn't clear, so I said it again and I clarified, right? But then I realized this person from this community who I was speaking of said they didn't like what I said. Fix it. I'm like, fix that. Later, the person apologized and was just like, oh, I finally got to that point. I'm sorry. But even before they got there, I had to fix that, because whether or not it was my intent to offend or not, to not offend, I still said something about a community that that person was from, and they felt some sort of way. So as a person not being from that community, I got to trust that. I have to trust that and how you felt about that. So I apologize, because I was going to say, oh, I apologize if I offended you. And I was like, nope, you said I offended you. I apologize for that. And I'm going to do better. Period. Period. We were able to squash it within the live. That's how it should have been, Taylor. You spent 30 minutes blaming white people, bringing up other people. And again, like I said, a lot of that stuff could be true, but you spent more time defending yourself and less time apologizing to the people that you offended. Like it was 30 seconds of an apology, and then, oh, I'm doing the work. This person did this. White people are mad at me about this. None of that matters to the people that you hurt. It may matter later when they see the change behavior. You know what I mean? That's her only issue. That's her that was her only issue that I felt. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Yes, Shadia M said this is exactly why an immediate apology is not needed to be reactive. You don't need 6 weeks like Sundown Town Rachel, but within 24 hours ain't necessary. I don't know how. Oh, I think Taylor can absolutely come back from this. I don't think this will tear her down. I don't think she'll be done, but I think she really has to not be so reactive in the moment. You know what I mean? Like you gotta take it for what it is. Because after people came out for the apology, they were just like, girl, all you had to do was say sorry. The rest that you posted was just not right. So then she says this: yesterday's response was a reaction and not an apology. I'm sorry. I didn't take a second to come correct. I owe you all an apology. There is no question or defending that every word of my old tweets are harmful, wrong, triggering, and incredibly upsetting to the communities that I identify with and that I support. I am so sorry to the folks that were triggered and re-traumatized by seeing the hurtful words from my past. The views I held 8+ years ago were vile and unacceptable and are completely removed from the values and principles I hold today. Those words were a way for me to deflect my own internalized racism, misogyny, and ignorance. Still, they cause harm, and I am accountable to that harm. To my allies, friends, and folks who I have hurt, who have stood by me and supported me through the years, I am sorry. To the LGBTQ community, I'm sorry for how my words have hurt you and have perpetuated harm and intolerance to the community. Because guys, she was a grown woman when she said these things. She was in college. You're grown. To the women and survivors of sexual assault, I apologize for the way my words have re-traumatized, triggered, and disappointed you. To those struggling with long-standing mental illness, I'm sorry for my intolerance and lack of empathy and understanding at that time. To the Asian, the Jewish, and the BIPOC community, I'm sorry for how my words perpetuated unfounding and damaging stereotypes. To those struggling with body shame and fat phobia, I'm incredibly sorry for my hurtful statements. You deserve so much better. I will continue to impact and fight against the harm around fat phobia. No one deserves to experience and relive the hurt those words have caused. Perfect apology. Let it stand. Let it stand. And then in the comments, she wrote, I would really love to see you take this energy and maybe donate some funds. Girl, you should have just posted that comment and let it go. But I would really love to see you take this energy. No. That was wrong. This energy and maybe donate some funds to BIPOC-led organizations that are providing therapy to people of color, LGBTQ folks, fat folks, etc. Oh, Taylor. This is what you should have said in this comment. You should have said, hey, family, or hey, guys, please donate to, like, that's it. All you had to do was take out, I would really love to see you take this energy. Girl, no. Now you don't need to be on the defense at this point. You need to just remain humble. That's what you need to be. That's what you need to be. And again, it was a long time ago. That don't mean those tweets don't hurt, right? It's a long time ago. Still hurts. You know what I mean? Especially what's going on with the Asian community today, right now. I think it's, was it in San Francisco where they're being attacked on a daily basis? And it's not like nobody really cares, right? And it's not nobody really cares, but it's not like being reported, and it's not, it hasn't been taken seriously nationwide. And there's not a lot of coverage on it. Although there was one interview that I watched. What's her name? It's not Connie Chung. It's another lady. She did this interview. That's another live. And I was like, girl. But imagine seeing that now also dealing with what your community is going through today. So I hear you, Taylor, but Taylor is very reactionary. Very reactionary. Understandable, probably from what she has endured. But when you're wrong, just own it and let it sit. This is your time to be humble. You got to be humble after you have wronged somebody and acknowledge that, You just got to be humble. A lot of us don't like being humble, but you got to be, especially when you were in the wrong. Humble thyself. It's okay. You'll learn. You'll grow from it. You'll be okay. And so Tiff and Co. also mentioned that Stephanie, what's her name? Taylor over explains. I deal with that as well. So, and I've learned, that's why I'm telling you, I've learned to just apologize and let it sit. Let it sit. Because also, yes, you want to explain something to defend yourself, but also it comes from a place of, oh no, I don't want you to think that I'm like that. Let me explain to you why I'm not. What is what I wanted to at first do yesterday when I was on the live and me and that person had that interaction. The first thing was like, oh my God, no, I'm not like that. Let me tell you why. And it was just like, no, let's apologize. Let it sit. Let it sit. Let it stand on its own. But I think she can absolutely come back from this. Yes, I-17 said, I would have rather Taylor wait a day and gather everything together, because what happened was, as soon as Taylor started seeing the old tweets resurface and people commenting on it, she hopped on her phone and said something. No, because in your emotions will always steer you wrong. Always. Especially when it just happened. No, sit with it. Talk with somebody who was level-headed about it. Then speak. Which is why I think that Sundowntown Rachel should have spoken up sooner, but I like that she waited. Because if she would have spoke when things started coming out, Lord knows where this all would be right now. You know what I mean? Child, y'all reading, huh? Michaela, the tweets that I saw, I didn't see anything about white people. Oh, what did she say about black people? Hold on. The tweets I saw, I didn't see anything about black people. Oh, what did she say about black people and white people? I didn't see any of those. I just saw the homophobic ones, the fatphobic ones, and the ones about Asian people and Indian men. Oh, I didn't see the one. Let me know. Send me a link or whatever. L said, and that it was a long time ago. I don't feel that way anymore. Excuse is about to expire. Those tweets are becoming more and more recent, and these are topics we've been talking about for years now. Oh, wow. There's more tea than I guess I found. I will say this. She said this in her apology. I left those tweets up to be a learning experience. One, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think you tweeted those in 2011 and your account blew up and you just probably forgot. If you actually did know about those tweets, because she said in her apology, I was going to go back and delete them, but I decided not to because I wanted it to be a teaching moment. I'm going to tell you right now, sis, I think you have learned that is one of the dumbest decisions you have ever made. If you know that if you have said some homophobic, racist, fatphobic tweets and you left them up so that somebody can expose you so that you can have the conversation today about it and talk about how you've done the work and grown, how foolish of you. I'm telling you right now, If you have some problematic tweets, delete them. If you have some problematic likes, delete them. I'm always checking. I'm always checking to see, like, what the hell did I say? What the hell did I say that was problematic? I will say, I didn't have to delete any problematic tweets. Not saying that I'm so great. I was horny. I was very horny on Twitter back in the day. I had to delete a lot of horny tweets. I was like, oh, girl, what were we going through? We were deprived back in the day, baby. I had to delete a lot of those tweets. I was like, oh my gosh, Nikki, what were we going through? You know what? I think it was like in my early 30s. I think I had just turned like 30 and the body was changing and I was hoeing on Twitter. So I had to delete a lot of that stuff. I was embarrassed. I was like, I can't believe I tweeted this to a man. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I still, every time I go back in this, I check a little something. Like, what did I say? What did I, at Miss NikkiStar, penis. Oh God, a lot of penis tweets. Delete. You always got to check. This is the thing, right? Not because you don't want to get caught, but listen, leave them up if you feel the same way. But a lot of us are not the same people that we were 10 plus years ago, right? Especially if you're a woman. We are totally different people later in life. Like, as with everybody, but with women, it is a 180. Especially when we hit that 30 mark, we become a different person, because what happens is the world, society stops being so nice to us for being young. Now we're old and thrown away and nobody wants to deal with us because we are over the age of manipulation. Now we're questioning things. Now we're saying no to stuff. And instead of acknowledging that and trying to respect us and treat us as equals, it becomes, oh, she's difficult. Oh, she's a B. Oh, she's angry because she's old. And all of these things to demean us and try to make us feel less than, because we are no longer saying yes to the manipulation that we receive from the male population. So you become a totally different woman, because you start to see the world for what it really is, because nobody's protecting you anymore because you're under the age of 24. Nobody's treating you kind anymore because the hips are changing. Do you know what I mean? The fupa is not going away like it used to. So you're starting to look a little different. You start to feel it a little different. You start to saying a little different things. You're starting to say, well, listen, I didn't orgasm, so we got to finish this. Me and you both like, oh, it's because you're 30. No, it's because you didn't do your damn job. And when I was 22, I was too afraid to say something because I didn't want to lose you. But now I know I can get 10 of you today, period. So let's finish this, or let's move on from this relationship. Now I'm a B. You know what I mean? So, and I said all that to say, we're just not the same people we were, If you are the same person you were when you said some angry, ignorant things, seek help. Seek help, because you should have grown. You should have grown by now. JB says, what said? Thank God nobody can find my early 20s tweets. Guys, because I wasn't on Twitter like that in my early 20s. Was Twitter around? Yes. It wasn't really for me. I was on Facebook because I still had a Facebook from when I was in college. And I was still on that. And every time Facebook reminds me of a tweet from like 10 plus years ago, I'm disgusted. Oh, I'm so annoyed with myself. I'm like, girl, really? Oh, shut up. Shut up, you judgmental whore. Like, I cannot stand the way Nikki was thinking, back in the day. I will say this though, right? Hold on, before I go on. Nelly, thank you for the super chat. Nelly said, how did she get on Bachelor in the first place with tweets like that? Lee was on there. And his whole timeline was the clan. And he got on the Bachelor. Sundown Town Rachel got on the Bachelor. People are talking about her losing her license. I'm disappointed in her. She should be disappointed in herself. I think that's where she needs to start. Start there. Be humble. Don't be defensive. You are not in the position to be defensive right now, Taylor. Even though we know what's happening, right? Nobody's trying to, tear you down. But it's like, girl, you're making it real hard to support you when you're just like, I'm doing the work. Okay. How about sorry? I'm sorry. But thank you so much for the super chat, Nelly. I don't think she needs to lose her license. I don't think she needs to lose her license over that. But again, I'm very honest with you. I didn't see any tweets about Black women. So I can't speak for how, you know what, but I am a little thick. I am a little thick. As a big girl, I don't think she should lose her license. If anything, I think she needs to hold off on that license and get some help. Because in that apology, I was like a lot. And in her Instagram, Taylor needs to see somebody. She does. She's dealing. I think what's happening with Taylor, which is probably what is happening with a lot of people who are Naomi. Thank you so much for the Cash App, Naomi. Thank you. Or is it Naomi? Naomi. Thank you for the Cash App. I think what's happening now, which is happening, what is probably happening with a lot of biracial or multiracial people who have Black ancestry in them, because of what's happening racially in this nation and across the globe concerning Black Lives Matter, there is, for some, they're having an identity crisis, because a lot of it is, like speaking of Taylor, where I wanted to run away from who I was because I didn't want to experience the pain of people who can't pass, or people who look like they have two full Black parents, right? I can kind of get away with that because I can, say I'm Indian, like those Indian men thought that I was Indian, like, you know what I mean? Like racially ambiguous and sometimes able to pass. I've ran away from that so much. So I've had, internalized racism towards my ancestry, towards people who I come from. Now I'm trying to embrace that and understand that. And I'm speaking up about things that I never spoke up about before. And I'm upsetting the community that I was able to craft when I was anti-Black and running from my ancestry because of what the people that I come from endure in this nation. I wanted an easier ride. Now, because there's more talk about those people that I ran away from receiving justice and equality, and there's a more positive spotlight put on them. Now I want to embrace that and be a part. That's a lot of mental work to do, right? Not adopting, but now embracing an identity you ran away from for so long. And now you're fully embracing the Black experience when you ran away from it and was able to be in a community that kind of covered you from that because you were the only, probably the only Black friend or that acceptable or safe Black person, like the safe Negro friend, right? Now you're like running full speed ahead into the Black identity, but you don't know anything about it. You've been running from it for so long. You don't know what it's like to freely live in it, and you're figuring it out, and you're realizing you're probably not equipped to handle all that pain in one go around. Because it's a lot of Black joy. I always say it. We make this look easy, but it's not. So I think what's happening with her, what's happening with Matt, they're all Tasia, they're all figuring this out, and it's all coming on them at like full speed ahead, right? It's coming on them at one moment, and they're like trying to deal with it, not making an excuse, just talking about what it probably could be with Taylor and her Instagram. I always call it the Meghan Markle like wake up call. And not saying that she's somebody who's ran away from that, but she's always been very honest of the fact that she could pass. And she's always very honest with, I live my life as a person of color because I was never considered a Black woman till she got to England. Till she got to England, they said, oh no, not in our royal family. There will be no Blacks. Child, England said, hell no. England said, I told America about this thing. Y'all not. Child. Anyway, so I think that's what's happening with Taylor, because there's a lot of breaking down all that. Her Instagram is a lot. So I think she probably needs to see somebody. Needs to see somebody who specializes in racial identity. Probably a Black person, you know what I mean? Or a multiracial person who has Black ancestry who can help you through it. Or maybe read Black Like Me. I don't know, girl. But I think she needs to hold off on helping people right now because I think she needs help. Baba said, my past is filled with me being a gossip. I always used to call myself a news reporter when I got called out. I knew all the backstories behind beef. Listen, I ain't even gonna lie, I still love the tea, especially when it's not about me. But which is why I know you guys love the batch chats, and I know you guys want me to do more with other people, but I just don't want this to be a gossip channel at all. Like, that's why I'm just like, I talk about things that are happening concerning the shows that I'm reviewing. Anything else after that, nah, that's not me. I can't. I don't. That makes me extremely uncomfortable. Kimberly said, I turned 30 this year. I'm so different. I'm so different. Yup. Child, at that 30 to 33. Why is nobody talking about that for women? From 30 to 33, my God, today, it's like you've lived a lifetime. It's like you lived a lifetime. You go from 0 to 100 real quick. It needs to be studied. Yeah, Miss Chris X Chris, I think, says lots of potential for healing there. Praying for her. Me, absolutely, absolutely praying for her. Oh, Julie, I see, guys. I didn't see those tweets, and I was searching. I was searching for a while. Julie said she was calling black people loud and telling them to shut the F up. I ain't gonna say she right, but we not quiet. She was tweeting about black girls staring, saying it would be cool to have white Taylor. You need to apologize and chill for a minute. Yeah, maybe you need to step aside like Chris Harrison too. You got to chill. You got to chill for a minute. That's all. Just chill. I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to, take a lot of time off. But I think it would have went over better for you if you would have apologized and let that stand before defending yourself. Cameron said, "Don't ask Matt James to help her. He can't because he's going through his own thing. He's going through his own thing." Oh, full list. Shonda, thank you. Shonda just sent me a full list of Taylor's tweets. Oh, Lord. Oh, the first one I see, ginger kids do have something to be thankful for. Pedophiles don't like them either. I also think Taylor was trying to be funny. That's another thing. When trying to be funny, unfunny people are just mean. It's like everybody wanted to be a comic on Twitter back in the day, and it's just like if you only can make jokes about marginalized communities or just saying something really nasty and foul, you're just not funny. You're an awful person who needs, mental help. You need to go see somebody. Just explain the TNR process for cats to eyeballing, and he asked why we don't do this to humans. Would be smart. Hashtag eugenics. What was going on with you back in the day? Girl, listen. Girl, I know it was a long time ago, but a lot of people don't have tweets like this. A lot of people don't have tweets like this. So many black people posted up, damn. Asians to hashtag UMBC is to black people as Stevenson. I don't know what that means. I'm not from Baltimore. I don't know how to draw black people. I can't do it. Yelling, shut the F up to allow black people in the lounge. This is another thing, right? The way Taylor was talking, she didn't identify herself as being a black person, right? Today, she's now saying that. So, yeah, the girl is having a whole identity crisis. Just chill. But it's annoying when pretty black girls about grenades, too. And that makes it work. Like, you're pretty. Shut up and be happy with your face. I love when girls be about other girls being grenade. What is that? I don't know. Is she trying to say grenades? Yeah, I think she was trying to be funny. But you got a real, like, where are you from? Do y'all use the F word a lot like that? I remember even as a child knowing that that was a bad word. She just uses this so freely. Why is a young woman using an F word? Where are you from? That awkward moment, that awkward moment where a teacher eye rapes you. Oh, you were going through some stuff. Okay, yeah, she was going through some stuff. Yeah, you were going through some stuff. Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's a couple of homeless people tweets. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is these tweets are not of somebody who was doing okay. So yeah, she admitted that she was going through a lot. Oh God, that identity struggle is something else. That is something else. And you were going through it in Baltimore. Yeah, she wasn't identifying as black back then. She used a lot of F words and yeah. That is just, I don't know. I don't know. I could have just been raised different. The F word, which the F word, what I'm saying is a slur against gay people. Um, Maybe that's just popular. We're popular. You know, I'm not gonna make an excuse. I knew like my mom would never let me say anything like that. I wouldn't want to say anything like that. But I also have a trans aunt, and my godfather is gay. So I just, I'm a different kind of person. Okay. I knew about voguing before I knew about a lot of things. So maybe my experience is just different. Oh my goodness. But yes, Homegirl was going through it. Homegirl was going through it. Oh, yeah. Jewish people too. Yeah, thank you for sending me that, but I'm good. Yeah, she was going through it. She was going through something. Oh yeah, Sippy Simone said I'm 24 now, and I can see the difference of being 19. Absolutely. As you grow older, you're just not the same person. And it's okay, even if you're not the same person, to apologize for that person that you were in the past, you know, because you hurt somebody. Like we're all, I think we just need to normalize apologizing. There's so much pride that we deal with that apologizing is hard. And I'm telling you, preach it to the choir, because I was testing in this yesterday. Shadia said, like everyone was getting it. She had time. She sure did. Taylor, how did you have all that time to do that in college? I was stressed in college. I did not get into Facebook until I got out of college. I was stressed. How did you have all this time to tweet? Girl, I went to school full time and I was working a full-time job. I had no time. I had no time. You were tweeting a lot in college. Were you learning anything? Did you graduate? Because it just seemed like you had a lot of free time in college. Absolutely, Kay Smith. Kay Smith said she was projecting her self-hate on everybody. Oh my God. I'm thirsty and I've been trying to avoid this drink because I told you I'm still juicing. So this drink is beet juice, dandelion, kale, lemon, and I think that's it. Oh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be absolutely terrible, but here we go. Here we go. It smells like dirt. Oh, the blood of Jesus. We got to do it. Do it for your skin. Do it for your uterus. Do it for your gut. Do it. Do it. Do it. And okay, we're going to do it for 10 seconds. What were we talking about? What were we talking about? Whew. Whew. Shadia says sounds like grass. MC says, I saw a comment that said she only left out Muslims, and at that rate she was going. At the rate she was going, it is discrimination. She excluded them. Yeah, Taylor was just like, everybody gonna get it. I'm an equal opportunity offer person. Everybody gonna get it. She was going through it in college. Girl, once you reload again, you need to load something to tell us about your college experience, because you were going through. You were going through it. Oh, Invisible Hiccup said, you and these damn dirt smoothies. Oh, because this is the thing. I like to drink the sweet stuff, but this stuff is very beneficial as well. And I know I have to drink it. But oh my God, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, Summer Bailey said the Corinne versus Taylor show. And then she was said to fat shame Derek after the show. I could see that. She was not the kindest to Derek. Oh, Priscilla, dirt. It tastes like dirt. It tastes like dirt. It's dirt. That's what it tastes like. Shonda said exactly. I double majored, and one of my concentrations was mathematics. I had no time for BSG. I didn't have no time for that in college. Oh no, Summer Bailey said people were paying Taylor for her emotional labor. Now they're Venmoing. They asking for their money back. Yeah, A Pat said, I hear you. We should let people redeem themselves, but at the same time, I think she needs to take a step back. I'm telling you, I honestly believe that Taylor's experience would be a lot different if she didn't get defensive in the same sentence that she was apologizing in. I guarantee you. Oh, wait a minute. Let's talk about this. Caitlin Bristow reacts to Taylor Nolan's resurfaced tweets. She's shocked and disgusted. Caitlin said, it really just made me sick to my stomach to see Taylor's Instagram, Taylor's tweets. She said, here we go again with having yet another human's resurfaced tweets or something that are not only racist, but homophobic, fat shaming, the list goes on. She said in this video on her Instagram, I'm so shocked that it's Taylor, because she talks about doing all this work, which I'm not discrediting that she's done all the work, but to use that as an excuse by saying you're sorry, by saying you've done the work, it's dismissing what you said. It's dismissing all those people you offended. I agree with Caitlin, right? Caitlin, I hope you deleted all your tweets. Caitlin, I hope you don't have nothing problematic. I really, really do. Because sis, you posted a whole video about Taylor. Did you do a video about Rachel? I agree with everything she said, but I was just like, Taylor, I hope you're in a good spot. Listen, Taylor is going to be fine. In a few days, she going to post a naked picture. And everybody going to forgive her. Girl. My God, today, that was a lot. I still stand by the fact that I think it would have went better for her if she would have just apologized and let it sit. Let it sit. Elle said, yeah, I think as surviving off of ramen, Hot Pockets, very little water, and sleep in college, I didn't have that kind of time. Hell, I don't know how I did it. Guys, I lived off of $20 a week in college. I don't know how I did it. I'm going to be honest. I know how I did it. Ramen. Chicken flavored, beef flavored, shrimp flavored. What was the other one? Or I used to get the Oriental flavored. But now I think that's the problem. That's problematic, right? To call food Oriental. I think so. But that was one of the flavors I survived off of in college. That was all I did. And then every Sunday I would treat myself to a ham and cheese, not a ham, a turkey and cheese sandwich from Grisetta's. It was this bodega in Brooklyn Heights. That was what I would treat myself to. But every other day it was ramen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was starving. It was starvation. I'll be very honest with you, but I was snatched. That ramen diet had me snatched. I ain't even gonna lie. Freshman 15 wear. When I came home from college, my freshman year, my mom was like, "Oh, you got to come home. You have to." She was looking at me in the kitchen. I was skin and bones. Skin and bones. Should I do the ramen? No. The ramen diet will probably backfire on me. I'll get a whole sodium fupa. Oh, Taylor got a man? Taylor got a man. Oh, child, you got a white man? I'm telling you, it be a lot of these people of color women who be with these white men and y'all be putting them through hell. Y'all be cussing them white husbands out. My girlfriend, listen, she love her white husband, but the stuff she be posting, I'm just like, did your white husband read this before you posted it? Oh my God. But he be liking it. So listen, but I just be like, oh, I wouldn't tweet that with a white man at home, but she get her husband's family together, okay? Taylor Nolan, right? She got a man? Are y'all talking about Taylor? I didn't have Hot Pockets. Yeah, oh gosh, Cameron, I used to live for them Hot Pockets. Live for them Hot Pockets. Don't do the ramen diet. She got a boyfriend, Tay Mocha. Okay, listen, she is finding out who she is. You got a whole white. What you are putting? Wait, is he white? He don't look white to me. You know what? He does give me Spaniard. He does give me Spaniard. So I don't know. Ciao. She is getting, I'm telling you, I'm on her Instagram right now. Oh, she getting them white people together. Taylor. Girl, this was definitely retaliation, but you should have just sat there and ate that apology. Thank you, Shadia. He gives me, is he white? Because he gives me a Spaniard. I mean, that is white, but I'm getting like Spaniard ancestry. I know what I'm trying to say. Let me stop, but I have to put out an apology, okay? Oh, God. I know. Jay Marie said, Nikki, the post office fitting the clothes and my family about to leave me. Let me get off of here. Anyway, listen, my friend, he likes it. Her husband, he be liking her stuff. And he be posting Black Lives Matter. I was like, oh, all right. These multiracial liberal families, child, God bless them. Got a Mediterranean. That's what I was picking up. That's what I was picking up. That's what he could be Jewish too. He could, I told you that story about that. When me and like all of the Black girls in 5th grade got disinvited from my, was it 5th grade? I think it was out there. No, 6th or 7th. I think it was out the 6th or 7th grade. When we got disinvited from my friend, forgive me, I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's bar or bat mitzvah, but it was for, I won't say her name, but a girl who I went to school with. And like, she invited basically all the Black girls were coming to our party, but she was showing us pictures from, I forget what it's called, but it's a trip where they take at our camp. What was it? What do they call it? Hebrew school. They took a trip to Israel. And there was a guy there in the pictures. Child, we were all over him. We just, because we had never seen, I'll be honest, for me, I had never, I can speak for the other girls. In Philly, we are used to, at that time, the only Jewish people that we knew of was, I believe it's Ashkenazi Jewish. I think that's what it is. Where, we just white passing Jewish people. And this dude, I'll never forget, guys, he was caramel complected, deep green eyes, beautiful curly hair. We were like, who is this? And she's like, oh, that's my friend. And we was like, is he going to be at the party? And she's like, oh, yeah, he's going to be at the party. Everybody from my Hebrew school is coming to the party. And we was like, oh, girl. We were getting ready to meet this dude. So every time, and this is our fault, right? Because anything that she shared about her, I think, let me know if it's bar or bat mitzvah. Every time she shared anything about it, we was always asking about him and if he was coming to the party. So after a while, she kind of got annoyed. And looking back, I can understand. So then around the time that the party was supposed to happen, we were all still waiting for our invitation. And we never got it. And I asked her about it. And she was like, oh, no, we're not going to have it. My family canceled it. Now that I knew her family didn't cancel that, right? Because then there were people who had actually went to the party who were talking about it, and to the bar about mitzvah who were talking about it. And I was like, oh, so-and-so had that? But she said she didn't have it. But she did. It was on Saturday, and everybody, because we had never been to, like, the kids in my school had never been to any kind of party like that. So everybody who got the invite was talking about it, but none of the black girls who were obsessing over that dude got the invite. Pissed. Oh, we were pissed. We held that grudge all the way till graduation. We were not talking to her at 8th grade graduation. Child, we held that grudge for years. Now as an adult, I was like, oh, we were wrong. We were so wrong. But he was there. He was there at the party. He was there. I felt like if he had met me, child, my life would be so different. Would I be doing my lives from Israel? Child. Anyway. Oh, look, he was so fine. We was like, who is this guy? Who is this? Child. Oh my God. Oh yeah, my autobiography. Bat mitzvah. Thank you. My autobiography is going to be off the chain. Olamide said the Israelis be fine as hell. I had never seen an Israeli person before in my life. So I just, I was like, he's Jewish. Like, we didn't understand. We were kids. We didn't understand how you could be Jewish and look like that, right? Because we were only used to Jewish people looking a certain way. But when we saw him, we were just like, we were all over. Child, oh my gosh. The more I think about it, I think about how terrible we were. She is over here showing us like sacred, places in Israel and talking about it. Like, this was a cultural experience. And we were so freaking horny for an Israeli boy with green eyes, baby. But it's for women. Thank you. I feel so bad. I used to be an Introduction of Judaism registrar. I should know that. Forgive me, Union for Reform Judaism. I'm slipping. Yeah, that's what he's giving me. I was just like, is he Caucasian or is he? Is he that boy that I was obsessed with in 6th grade? Oh yeah, Maximilian, it's time to get off. Maximilian said, child, I have stayed on here through a neighborhood walk, dinner waking, Publix run, and some computer work as my toddler watches Paw Patrol with dinner in the oven. Live chat, cherry pop, check amazing. Yeah, we got to get out of here. But thank you guys. Thank you for y'all right. I got to go before the post office closed. But thank you. Oh, we've been on here from 12 to 3 p.m. Child, we had a lot to talk about in Bachelor Nation. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I say it every time because I mean it. I really appreciate you guys taking time out, out of your day to spend time with me here at NikkiStar TV. I appreciate your support, and I will see you soon for something else. Today is what, Tuesday? It's Tuesday. I'll see you for Married at First Sight. Yeah, that's the only thing I have coming up. And I'm going to do a talk about basketball wives, but it won't be a review. I'm going to be dragging the cast, but I'll see you for those videos. Also, if you could check out my video about Black-owned brands, check it out. See, there might be some brands on there that you enjoy, but it's a lot of my favorite things. I want to be doing more videos like that, just to show you guys the things that I am enjoying, because I get a lot of questions about things I'm wearing, you know, makeup, all the stuff and stuff on my Instagram. So please make sure you go check out my Black-owned brands that I love video, and stay tuned, because women-owned businesses that I love to celebrate Women's History Month, that is coming up as well, and more faves and more discussion videos are coming up as well. Stay tuned for more content here at NikkiStar TV. Thank you again for the support. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah. Oh, Yolande says she already ordered a few things. Oh, great. Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Yolande. If you have ordered some stuff from that, from my Black-owned brands video that I love, please tag me in it. If you have an Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, tag me in it. I want to see what you got. I want to see, like, you know, if you had the same experience that I had. Let's chat about it. That's so fun. That's so fun. Yay. I'm so glad. Yes, please tag me in it, especially if you have an Instagram, especially tag me in it. I want to see what you got. Oh, that's so fun. Everybody's getting the grits. Yes. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Oh, there's a bachelor room? What bachelor room? Let me get off of here. What bachelor room, Tahara? I'm going to get off of here. Tahara, tag me in it on Instagram or on Clubhouse. I'm NikkiNicoleStar. I'm Nikki Star on Clubhouse. So tag me in there or tag me in a room. I want to know what they're talking about. Anyway, love y'all. See you soon. Bye. About to make me some grits too. Baby, I only got 1.5 bags left. Ciao. They're good.